I need you guys to understand that fast communicational skills every single day is something that's going to help you move forward. I realize every single day that when I go and really communicate daily, really quickly, I have a fast sex drive. Do you understand that? I have a quick sex drive. And now, because I have a quick sex drive, you have to understand it's more that I communicate faster and faster and faster throughout life while getting what I want every single day, to make sure you understand that those people who are slow communicators throughout life are the ones that are the crowd. Anybody who's in the crowd, who's a much slower communicator than you, is a drug addict. You understand? Now, if you want to be attractive toward people, you have to be a fast communicator throughout life. You have to understand the faster you communicate in terms of words, the better you are going to be able to deal everything in terms of life. You have to understand every single time that those people who communicate faster and faster throughout life are the ones who are going to achieve life faster and faster. Now, every single day, focus upon understanding business skills, and business mindset is everything to do with fast communicational skills every single day. Every single day you focus upon understanding that those people who are very slow to talk are the ones who just want to have sex around. Now, every single time that if you understand to never waste your time but to communicate more, you have the glory of God. Do you understand? Because God never stops to have pleasure. God just keeps walking. God just keeps communicating to everybody. And now you have to understand that if you want to have pleasure, you have to communicate faster. You understand? You have to communicate faster. And now the faster you communicate, the more pleasure you can have of life. You understand? But people are doing the opposite. And now people are going the opposite way, and they're talking slower to have pleasure. You understand? But God talks faster to have pleasure. You understand? You have to talk fast. You have to be fast. You want sex? You have to talk about it fast. You have to have it fast. You have to have everything quickly. You understand? But people who are very slow, they want everybody to slow down around them so that they can understand. There is no chance that you can slow down my communicational skills. You have to understand that if somebody tries to tell you to slow down, you never slow down, you go faster throughout life. You understand? Because what's amazing is that when you're traveling the world and you're doing everything on the fast, in terms of you're flying around the world, you have to be quick about it. You have to be quick about making events everywhere. You have to be quick about getting the woman or the man or the child or whatever you want in life. You understand? Now, every single day you must understand you just want Jesus Christ only. Now, if you understand that, you have to understand every single time that I push myself to make 3 hours of video today. And every single day you have to understand that when I start this video, before I even start this video, I understand I'm doing 3 hours of it. Understand how much that's second time for me. But guess what? I'm learning something along the process over here. I make sure I'm saying I can do it. I can do the 3-hour video. I can do it. I make sure of it. I make sure of this video. I make sure that I'll do it, man. Understand? Because I'm making sure. I have to make sure I talk faster. I have to push through it. I have to push through the communicational skill here. Because when I push through the 3 hours of communicational skill, I've done it prior to actually doing the video. You understand? Because you have to understand that half the battle is making sure that you stand up and do the camera first and you press play. And then when you press play, that's the 50% of the communicational skill. But now, I just have to go and talk faster throughout the video. I just talk faster and faster and faster and faster, and I just get through it really quickly. You understand? But people who are very slow, they just really, really go slower in communicational skills. And then what happens eventually is they believe they suck. They believe they're so shit in the video that they just stop the video and they never want to post it again online. Understand? And why is that? Because they're slow communicators. Understand? Because that's who I was. I know my I only, and then when I communicate faster, every single day, I understand my talk, I understand my language, I understand my words are going to help you, no matter how shit it is. Understand? Or else my words are never shit. Understand? Or else my wisdom will teach you something. So when you just stand up in front of the camera and just talk your words, those words are going to teach somebody no matter how shit you are. Understand? Every single day, focus upon understanding that if you want to go and really grow, you have to understand JT Fox. JT Fox can get 100 people from the seminar of 3,000 people to go give him $4,000 in 1 hour. Do you understand? That's 400 grand in 1 hour. He just makes very quickly. You understand that? But how? How does he do that? It's because he understands fast communicational skills. He has a nice, beautiful seminar where he goes and makes he makes a presentation really quickly, and then guess what? He's walking everywhere. Everybody's looking at him. Understand? And why is that? Because he's very fast to walk everywhere. He's very fast to talk. But I'm faster than him. I'm faster than his communicational skills. Guess what? If I do a seminar today and I start pitching people about my seminar and my product and everything that I have, I get everyone to stand up there. I get everybody to stand up to sign up to my program. I mean, understand, because I make more money than he ever will. I mean, understand, because guess what? I sign him up on a subscription plan. I sign him up $7 a month. You understand? Because he make 400 grand on the day. But guess what? I make over the nice beautiful lifetime. You understand? Over the next 72 years, I sign up 3,000 people to give me $7 on the day. Now every single month, $7 is coming in, but it's really 3,000 people giving me $7 each. Now, guess what? Over 12 months, I just made a lot of money right here. You understand? Because guess what? I understand either way. I have to be very quick about this, because what's amazing every single day is focusing upon understanding that you always place your products and everything that you have in a better spot. So if I calculate that really quickly, you have to understand I have to be very quick about calculations and everything I have in life so that you can see. Now 3,000 people times 7, I mean, that's $21,000 I make on the spot. I mean, you understand? But that's just on the spot. But he makes 400 grand from that seminar. You understand? But guess what? Times 12. I mean, 1 year later, now 1 year, I make $250,000. You understand? Because of that one seminar. But then after 72 years, I make $18 million, mate. I mean, $18 million over here. I mean, because guess what? I realize he's on, I mean, he's just in it for the short term. I mean, you understand? I mean, he just wants to make 400 grand on that spot. You understand? I want to make $18 million and more. I understand? Because guess what? I mean, that's what you need to do. You need to sign up people on $7 notice of subscription a month of 3,000 people. Everybody will sign up to you. I mean, in a sense, so what you do is realize now that if you're going and giving people a subscription plan, I promise you it's much better than selling them on $4,000. I understand? Because guess what? I mean, 4,000. I mean, would you rather give $7 or would you rather give 4,000? I mean, you have to understand. You have to give 4,000. You have to give $4,000. You understand? You have to always go the bigger number. You understand? You have to always go the bigger number. And now, what is the biggest number in the world? It's the one. The number one is the biggest number. You have to put yourself first. You understand? But how does that make sense, Danny? It makes sense because guess what? Or is that, I mean, if you understand every single day the numbers, you understand the more you give in terms of plastic money, in terms of numbers, the better for you. You understand? So guess what? I mean, number one is the biggest number. You understand? But guess what? I understand 7 is actually a smaller number than actual number one. And then 4,000. But guess what? What's amazing is go the more affordable way. I mean, what's more affordable for you? I mean, would you rather give $4,000 at the seminar to have a package, or would you rather give $7 to get the same thing? I mean, do you understand? I mean, what's more affordable for you is the best way. I mean, understand? Because guess what? I mean, that's the best way. I mean, that's how you really teach people. You teach people through fast notice. You have to be quick about life. Now, everybody around me is slower than me in communicational skills. They're very slow to communicate. And why is that? Because they are individuals who are unaware about how to communicate daily. You have to understand communication is very fast. You have to understand very fast skills and very fast tactics, and very quickly you have to learn the world around you. I mean, understand that? You have to be quick, and the more quick you are, the better you are. I mean, the smarter you are. I mean, every single day you're going to understand a nerd. Nerds are very quick about something. I mean, in a sense, so anybody who's a nerd is me. I mean, you understand? I'm a nerd. I'm somebody who loves to communicate. I'm somebody who loves to teach you. I mean, is this communication skills that's fast? Yes. I have to be faster. I have to get faster in this. I have to push myself in my communicational skills to say I can do it. I can do it. I can do a 3-hour video. I can do a 12-hour video here. I can sit for the next 12 hours and I can do it. I mean, I can do a 24-hour video over here. I can sit for the next 24 hours and you can watch me and I can do it. I can sit for the next 72 years right here and I can do it. I mean, there's no limits on me, mate. I understand? Because I can do it. I must do it. I understand? I mean, now because it's a must, I'm doing it over time. I understand? Because guess what? I mean, nothing limits me anymore. I understand? Because I never put a barrier around my communicational skills anymore. I understand? I make sure every single day that anything that's a barrier in my life is something that I've actually did already. You understand? Because what's amazing is understanding, make sure that your life today is something that you have to be coaching really quickly. You have to be understanding very quick products. You have to understand every single day that if you want to be smarter and if you want to be faster in your material and in terms of fashion and money and privileges and also travel and everything, you have to go and travel the world. Unfortunately, now, if you travel the world, you have to communicate fast. You have to understand every single day. You have to fly fast. You have to fly the world quickly. Would you rather see it now or would you rather see it in 100 years? Roshi, what would you rather do? I mean, would you rather see it in 100 years or right now in terms of the world? You have to see it now, baby. You have to understand every single day. You have to be quick about everything. So what am I doing here? I'm teaching you how to be fast. I'm teaching you a communicational skill. I'm teaching you my attitude in the process of communication and how I use my words and how I abbreviate everything. But I have to learn more synonyms and I have to push myself to learn those synonyms. But I can always do it. I must do it. I must always understand that I have no limits. I have no limits because I never place myself in a limit. Because guess what? I mean, if you want to have the body you want, you have to communicate fast for it. You understand? You have to understand, if you want money right now, you have to communicate fast. You have to understand, you have to be fast to travel the world. You have to understand every single day that if you want to travel more, you have to travel more first. Every single day, you have to understand that what's important here every single day is understanding that the more work you do in terms of communicational skills and the more ideas you give, the smarter you are. Now, the smarter and faster communicator you are, the more you can slow people down into communication with you to have sex with you if you want. You understand? Because if you want to have sex with people, I mean, what you do is you have to slow down the communication really slow. You have to slow them down really quickly and slow them down and slow them down. And guess what? You then are now in silence with that individual. And then guess what? I mean, now you can approach. And then the slower the communicational skill is between you and her or you and him, that means it's sex time. You understand? Because you guys are so slow. I mean, you guys are so much zombie over here. I mean, understand? I mean, it's time to go into a cave and have sex. You understand? Because guess what? I realize if we're just talking like this all day long, I mean, do we have time for sex? Do we have time for sex if we're just talking like this all day long? I mean, we have no time for sex because we're going to travel the world. I mean, we're going to go to the pelicans over there. I mean, we're going to go to the crocodiles. I mean, we're going to go to the elephants over there. I mean, do you understand me? We're traveling everywhere. I mean, we're going to bring the dogs together. I mean, we're going to bring this together. I mean, guess what? I mean, there's no time for sex anymore. And that's what Jesus Christ does. I mean, you understand? I mean, Jesus Christ is talking to you all the time like this. I mean, God's like that with you. I mean, guess what? I mean, there's no time for sex. I mean, there's no time for pleasure because on the road, I mean, guess what? I mean, we're going to have some sex. I mean, we're going to go to the fucking bush over there. And guess what? I mean, every single day, focus on understanding that it's just words. I promise you, everything in terms of life, you have to understand that no matter what, we're going to enjoy. You understand? Every single day, focus on understanding. I'm never degrading myself. I'm talking really honest right here. I mean, you understand? Because what's amazing is that understand that if somebody wants to slow you down with sex, you say, yes, we're going to have sex very soon. But guess what? I mean, we need to go to Spain first. I want to get with you to Spain first and get in the hotel, and then we can have sex the first time we get in. And then guess what we're going to do? From that point, I mean, we're going to have something to plan and some dinner, and we're going to go out. I mean, we're going to start traveling more. You understand? Because guess what? I mean, there's no time for slowing down over here. You have to make a goal with your wife or husband to have sex at a certain period of time where you can achieve a goal first and then you can have sex. You understand? Because what happens is most people are just going around and let's say just having a goal of sex, but they have no time to travel anywhere. I mean, they have no time to do anything else but achieve the whole, man. I mean, they just want to achieve the dick or the whole of the vagina of the woman, you understand? Because they are thinking about nothing else except that, you understand? Because guess what? I mean, you never do that. I never have time for that right now. I don't have time for that because guess what? I get myself some escorts later or whatever because guess what? I understand when I have some more money, they come up to me. I mean, 5 of them, I put them on the floor and I put them in the ass, you understand? Because guess what? I mean, that's how it is, you understand? Because that's what I can do. I can do that, you understand? I can invite 5 women into my hotel room really quickly. I'm like, yeah, you just go on the floor. Yeah, I mean, you understand? I mean, guess what? I mean, it's really quickly, you understand? I mean, I have no time to have sex with women, you understand? Because guess what? I realize I only have time to make sure I'm growing, you understand? Because that's what you can do. You can do anything you ever want. But guess what you do every single day? You follow Jesus Christ the most, you understand? Because what's amazing is when you have more money and more success, and then that's what you need. You need more success and more money and more privileges and to be famous and to be spotlight material, you understand? Where you can go and enjoy your life in the process. You understand? I mean, women come very easily when you have money, man. I mean, just call the escorts, man. It's very simple. I understand? I mean, every single day, if you have more money and success, brother and sister, you have to understand every single day, they come to your room really quickly. I mean, there's no time to go to the nightclub over there to chase women for 12 hours, man. I mean, you understand? I mean, they come very quickly over here. I mean, they come to my bedroom, I mean, 5 of them really quickly because I have the money, man. I just throw money at them. I mean, in a sense, so guess what? I mean, what's more important to you? I mean, is it more success or is it the pussy? I mean, what's more success? in life for you? I mean, is it the dick, or is it making sure that you have the best voice in the planet and that you have the best inspiration in the planet? You have to understand every single day that what you need to do in life is follow Jesus Christ and his commandments and delay gratification as much as possible, because when you're communicating more and more and more, you have to understand it's more that you're delaying gratification and delaying gratification and delaying gratification. But guess what you're doing? You're exchanging the vagina and the dick to go traveling Australia and to go traveling Spain and Europe and everything. I mean, is that worth it? Apparently it's worth it. Apparently it's much more worth it that you go achieve Spain and Europe and Argentina and Uruguay and see the whole place than having sex with women and men, in terms of trying to achieve their vagina or trying to achieve their actual dick. You understand? I understand every single day, focus on understanding. You have to go and communicate fast. Virtually now, I'm in the hostel over here. But guess what? I mean, everybody here is slow. I mean, they're very slow communicators around Australia. Virtually now, every single day, focus on understanding. I'm very fast to communicate, because I understand that when I get up in front of a crowd, I start speaking, and I have to understand I flew past you already before you even understood what I said. I mean, understand, because I'm very quick to very much start the nice beautiful process of my video and everything I do, because where am I now? I mean, I'm 15 minutes into the video, but where have I taken you already? I'm taking you already somewhere else from how I started in the video. You understand? I mean, every single day I focus from how I start in the video to this point. I mean, I'm making sure every single day you have to understand you're just going somewhere else now. I mean, you understand? Because every single day I'm focusing on directing you with communicational skills every single day, so you can focus on understanding what delayed gratification, there's what delaying gratification is. Now, delaying gratification is speaking faster and faster and faster and faster and faster. I understand? But gratification is speaking slower and slower and slower and slower. Now, if you want to have high sex drive, you have to go and get pleasure and speak faster and faster and faster and faster. I mean, now, if you understand that if I go and masturbate, for example, apparently what I need to do here is I have to talk fast. I have to say, I realize what's happening right here. I'm just making sure every single day I'm communicating fast and fast and fast, and blah. I already blew. I mean, guess what happened? I'm full of energy already again. I mean, how am I full of energy again? Because I'm speaking while I'm masturbating. I mean, I'm speaking really quickly. I'm talking to myself really quickly. I'm talking. And guess what? I mean, there's no time to slow down anymore. There's no time to slow down. I mean, I've all the energy in the world now. I just did a bust. I just did a jackleg. But guess what? I mean, look at me now. I'm Speedy Gonzalez over here. I'm ready to have another sex over here. I'm ready to have sex again. I understand? Because that's the whole point. I mean, that's high sex drive. I mean, guess what happens to the people who have slow sex drive? Which now they want to bust. They say, hey, I realize I have to go to sleep, man. I mean, they have to go to sleep. I mean, guess what? I mean, they have to eat something. They have to eat something now. I mean, they understand? But guess what I do after sex? I mean, I get to do a 3-hour video like this, mate. I mean, I do a 3-hour video, mate. I mean, there's no time for food. I mean, I'm hungry for food, but guess what happens? I'm only hungry for my word eye, mate. I mean, guess what? I mean, if you want to go and achieve in life, you have to overcome your obstacles. You have to overcome your communicational skills. You have to overcome the world, you understand? Because what you do daily is understand that you can overcome sleep, and you can overcome fatigue, and you can overcome food and drink, and you can overcome sex and pleasure if you just talk to yourself faster. And now if you talk to yourself faster, you're saying something like, you guess what, mate? You guess what? I never need that. I never need that. I need to go do something productive right now. I have to go find something to do. I have to find something to do. I'm doing a 3-hour video right now. But guess what? I realized that what's amazing is if you understand that if you can grow throughout the process of eating food and throughout the process of eating and having sex with other people, and you can grow your communicational skills, you have to do it. You understand? Because guess what? Approach every single day is focused upon understanding to follow Jesus Christ anyway and his 10 commandments. You understand? Because every single day, that if you are blocking yourself in some area of life, it's because you have a heavy fog around you, and it's a heavy rock, and it's a heavy mountain that you have to break. And the only way to break it is you say, I can break that mountain. I can break the fog. I can overcome it. Because how do I overcome it? I overcome it through my communicational skills. I have to learn from Danny Milivojevic how to communicate. I have to learn from myself only on how can I really, really communicate that communicational skill faster and faster and faster and faster, because that's the only way I learn. You can only learn for yourself like that. You can only say to yourself, I can only learn how to communicate faster and faster and faster and faster, because who's doing it for Danny Milivojevic now? Actually, Danny Milivojevic is doing it for Danny Milivojevic. I mean, you understand? I mean, guess what? I mean, every single day, I'm communicating and learning faster and faster and faster how to communicate faster and faster and faster. Because guess what? I realized that once I ejaculate 10 times, I mean, guess what I say? I mean, guess what? I need more energy. I need more energy right now. I mean, guess what? I mean, what do I have to do right now to get more something? I have to pump myself up. I mean, I have to pump myself up. I have to get up. up. I have to start doing a jog somewhere. I have to start doing a jog now. Understand? I mean, I just had sex with 10 women in my bedroom, and guess what? I need to go for a run now. I need to go for a run. I mean, there's no time for slowing down, man. I mean, there's no time for slowing down over here, man. I mean, I have to go do some push-ups now. I have to go push-ups. I have to go do some push-ups and chin-ups somewhere. I have to go I have to go sweating somewhere. Understand? I have to go doing something else. I have to go do some nice, beautiful writing work and my life coaching work now. I mean, forget the woman now. I mean, I just had sex with 10 of them, man. I mean, I want to go run somewhere. I want to go travel to Spain now. I just want to go now. I mean, forget them. I mean, you understand? Because guess what? I mean, you understand? I mean, that's high sex drive. But if you want to just be with the bedroom, Marisha, if you just want to be in the bedroom with 10 guys and 10 women, and you just want to always slow down with them, I mean, guess what they're going to do? I mean, they're going to leave your ass. Understand? Or they're going to leave your ass and they're going to say, they have a 9-to-5 job, mate. I mean, they're going to say, hey, I mean, we have something to do, mate. I mean, then they're going to leave your ass. And then what are you going to do? You're going to be like a depresso. You're going to be depressing. You understand? Because guess what you do? You're in bed. You just had sex with 10 women and 10 men. And guess what's going to happen? I mean, you're going to be like, what do I do now? I mean, guess what I do before you even say that? I say, hey, I just had sex with 10 women and 10 men. But guess what? I just had sex with a woman, for example. I understand all that, but guess what? I mean, I have no time for this woman. I mean, get out of my house, bro. I mean, get out. I mean, get out. I have some videos to do over now. I have some videos to do over here. I have some videos. I mean, get out. I mean, go. I mean, go. I mean, understand? Because I have something to do over here. I mean, there's no time to slow down. I have something to do now. I have something to do. Because guess what? That when you have something to do, you have to understand it's communicational skills. But if you have nothing to do in life, it's because you're never communicating. You understand? Now, if you say, what do I do now? Now, guess what? I mean, it's a question, but you have to understand that the answer is you have to communicate more. Now, I understand that every single day that what's next to do is communicational skills. I understand? Every single day, I'm focusing upon understanding that when I communicate through this video faster and faster and faster, I can achieve it. I mean, understand? Because I go through it really quickly. I understand? I go through it really quickly. I put myself in the spotlight. I put myself into front of people. I put myself in front of everywhere, and I just achieve it. If I want that woman, I go up to her really quickly, and I say, hey, do you have a number? I mean, I want your number. I want to meet with you. I mean, are you able to meet with me or not? I mean, do you understand? I mean, no worries. I mean, forget it. I mean, if she rejects me, forget it. You understand? I mean, I have no time for her. I'll go for the next woman then. I'll go for the next woman and say, hey, I mean, are you available tonight? I mean, are you able to go for a drink or whatever? I mean, are you able to talk up my communicational skills? I mean, are you able to speed up your communicational skills with me? I mean, what do you mean? I mean, you have to come with me over here. I mean, are you able to do that? I mean, are you able to come to my bedroom? I mean, are you able to have sex with me? I mean, you have to ask them. I mean, are you able to do it or not? I mean, stop trying to slow down your communicational skills. I mean, I just met a woman recently at the hostel, and she says that she has to get drunk to have sex with somebody. I mean, why do you have to get drunk to have sex with somebody? I mean, what's stopping you from just having sex with no drugs? I mean, you understand? I mean, what's stopping you? I mean, guess what? I mean, she's saying that she needs to go negative totally to degrade herself to have sex. I mean, why do you need to degrade yourself to have sex? I mean, just lift yourself to have sex. I mean, understand? I mean, just understand that every single day, that if you follow Jesus Christ, you never need to have sex in the first place. You have to understand that what's amazing about Jesus Christ is he teaches us, and I say that he teaches us everything about life, about how to communicate faster. You understand? Because everybody now has to learn from Danny Milivojevic on how to do that. You understand? Because now, guess what? I promise you, I'll teach you everything. I'll teach you everything about communicational skills and what you need. But if you want to go around traveling and you want to have everything in your life, you have no time to talk to other people. There's no time to talk to other people. Understand? Because what you do is you just make events around you and let people come talk to you. Now, why is that? Because you're so much faster than them in communicational skills that there's no time to talk to other people. I mean, why? Because you only have time for yourself. I only know the word I. Now, every single day you understand that when you go and give ideas every single day, and you're focusing upon your work. I mean, look at my work over here. I'm enjoying my work, you understand? But you have to focus upon your work and you have to enjoy your life to the fullest, you understand? Because anybody who's understanding every single day to focus upon something that they love to do, or should they get it out of them? I promise everybody here needs to understand every single day that you have to go and achieve everything there is. You have to understand every single day that nothing's stopping you from succeeding much more today than ever before. Now, every single day that if you understand how to make money today, it's just do a 1 hour speech or do a 1 hour passion of your kind. I mean, what kind of passion you love to do? I mean, go and do it in front of people for 1 hour. And guess what? I mean, before you even do it in front of people, I mean, organize 1 year in advance to go to that place for every single day for 1 month, in terms of 1 day a month, go to that place. And just make a roster saying that you're going to be there the first day of every single month for next year, and then make sure you understand that if you do that for Sydney, you do that for Perth, you do that for Adelaide, you do that for Brisbane, and now you have 5 events every single year and every single month. I mean, you have 5 events every single month in Australia because you're booking in 5 places at once and you're calling them on the same day to book 1 year ahead. So for example, now, since I have a nice beautiful roster that I'm doing just on these days, I send it to Perth, I send it to Adelaide, I send it to Brisbane, I send it to Melbourne, I send it to Sydney, and that's where I'll be. But 5 days of the month is where I'm going to these places. But in between, I set myself a nice beautiful pace where I can go and say, have 1 day here, or 1 week in here, and 1 week in here, and 1 week in here. But guess what I'm doing? I'm making sure that I can travel to these places too. I understand, because what happens every single day is focus on understanding that since I have 5 gigs over here in Australia a month, you understand that's $50,000 in 5 hours I make. I make $50,000, or I make $10,000 per keynote speech. And now, how do I do that? How do I do that? You have to understand, I invite some musicians. I invite some musicians around Serbian communities and Croatian communities or Chinese communities or Indian communities or any type of community there is. I invite musicians. I make a celebration party first. I make a celebration party in that area. And guess what? I charge. Guess what? I charge the door entry. I charge the door entry $150 to get in, to have this nice, beautiful celebration party, but Danny Milivojevic is hosting the event. Danny Milivojevic is hosting the event. Danny Milivojevic is going to speak 1 hour about something of success. And guess what? Now people are going to come. Why? Because I made a gathering here. I said, hey, you guys have free food. You guys have food over here. You have drinks. You have people in your culture who are coming to this event too. You have people around you who are going to come to this event because there's musicians starting from 9 o'clock in the morning. Guitarists, a saxophonist, a singer, or a man and woman are going to sing, and we're going to sing everything. We're going to start singing, and there's going to be a keyboard as well and a drummer. We're starting at 9 o'clock, boom, 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 and we're starting to celebrate at 9 o'clock in the morning to 3 o'clock in the morning. Understand? Because it's $150 per ticket. Understand? And guess what? Danny Milivojevic is hosting the event, but Danny Milivojevic is going to come at 7 p.m. on that day. So make sure you come before 7 p.m. to watch Danny Milivojevic's speech. Understand? And guess what happens? They sell out the arena. I sell it out. I sell out the whole arena in Brisbane and in Melbourne and in Sydney and in Adelaide and in Perth. Understand? Because this is the Serbian community. This is any culture that you want, because guess what? There's a celebration going on. Guess what? I realize it's happening once a month, and Danny's showing us every single month it's happening now. Every single month it's happening. Danny Milivojevic is coming every single month to Brisbane and Adelaide and Brisbane and Perth and Adelaide and Sydney, and he's going to do a 1 hour public speaking speech, but we're going to have a celebration every single month with Danny, and it's $150. They already understand that 1 year ahead of time, you're going to be doing this, like this. Like this. Understand? But guess what? They're going to show up. If they never show up the first time, in the first event, they'll show up for the second event. You understand? Because what's going to happen is they're all going to show up eventually. They're all showing up to give you $150. Guess what happens now? Since the nice, beautiful area of that nice, beautiful place is an RSL club, or maybe it's a function of some sort of hotel or casino, guess what? You go 50-50 with them on the actual money. If it's $150, you go and give them $75 because they're going to advertise you, and they're going to make some money in the process because you're going to make $75 per ticket. In a sense, so if 400 people come, you make, let's just be quick about this. You make around $20,000. In a sense, so what happens is 75 times 400. Guess what? You make $30,000 right here. 75 times 400. Understand? Because 400 people are going to come to the event. 400 people coming to the event. So you make $30,000, but guess what you do with the $30,000? $20,000 you give it to the government. You're giving it to the government because that's going to be taxed. I understand either way that if I go around public speaking now around the world and I create these events and I make half the money of the door entry, I have to give 60% of what I make at the door entry to the government because that's the taxation. I have to give it to them because as soon as it's in my bank account is what's my money. But my money, I say 30,000 minus 20,000. I make $10,000 per hour. I make $10,000 per hour. You understand? $20,000 I gave to the government. I made the government that day as well, $20,000. You understand? Because what you do as a nice, beautiful public speaker or anything in terms of live performance is you have to make the government money, you have to make the club money, you have to make the musicians money, you have to make yourself money, you have to make everybody money on the day. You understand? Because what happens is, make sure you understand every single day that if you make everybody money, you now can also make it legally. You understand? Whereas now, if you're making yourself money, but never other people, I mean, now you're doing it illegally. You understand? Whereas now, guess what? Whereas now, that's how it is. Whereas now, if you're making plastic money today, but you're never making the government money, and you're never making other people money, I mean, that's because it's illegal money. You understand? Whereas now, guess what? I mean, do you understand why they put money under the floors and why they keep whole millions of dollars in their house? I mean, and the police raids them. I mean, the SWAT team goes into the house and they find millions of dollars in the house. I mean, why? I mean, because it's because of drugs. I mean, they're doing drugs and they're selling drugs. You understand? Unfortunately, now, every single day, focus on understanding that it's because if they go to the government and they go to the banks and say, hey, I mean, we want to pour all this money into the bank. I mean, guess what? I mean, the bank's going to say, I mean, where did you get this money from? I mean, now they have to show evidence and proof about the money. I mean, they have to show the evidence and proof about how did they make the money first. I mean, understand? Because that's what the government asks you before you even put your money in the bank. I mean, if you go to the bank and say, I have 50 grand, I want to dump it into the bank. I mean, they are going to ask you, I mean, how did you get the money first? I mean, guess what I said? I mean, I went to this event. I mean, these are my references. I have 4 references from the club. I went to Perth, I went to Sydney, I went to Melbourne, I went to Brisbane, I went to Adelaide. I mean, these are all my references from each of them. And also here are the videos. I mean, I'm hosting the event. I mean, here is my nice beautiful image of me doing a public speaking event and my nice beautiful cover for the photo, and he's sponsoring, or the nice beautiful club who's promoting me. I mean, that's how I made the 10,000 bucks per hour. I mean, I did it legally. I mean, how did I do it legally? I gave them 30,000 bucks. I mean, they gave me 10,000. I mean, understand? I mean, they processed it for me. I mean, they put $10,000 in my bank account. I mean, as soon as the money is in your bank account, it's legal money. Now, if you're receiving handouts from the government, it's legal money. You can do whatever you want with it. As long as they're giving you the money, you can go travel the world with that money. It's never money laundering. Money laundering is when you're making money on black, such as, for example, let's say the musicians, for example. I understand many Serbian musicians or musicians in the planet, because they're working self-employment, I mean, they never want to give 60% of that money to anybody. You understand? Because what they want to do is, let's say I make an event. I make 30,000 bucks, but guess what happens? I have to give some money to the government, I have to give some money to these people, I have to give some money to the musicians. I mean, the musicians are given $1,000 each, but they're going to put that in their pocket. I mean, they're just going to put that in the pocket, I mean, guess what's going to happen? I mean, they're never going to show the government that money. I mean, they understand? Because that's black money. I mean, that's black money. But that, I mean, what they have to do, I mean, they have to go and get the $1,000 bucks. I mean, they have to go to the government and put it in the bank account. I mean, they have to put $1,000 bucks into the bank account. I mean, guess what? I mean, the government here may say, how did you get the money? I mean, guess what? I mean, now they have to say the proof of how did they get the money. But sometimes, I realize sometimes the government may never ask them how did they get the money. I mean, the same, but guess what? I mean, $1,000 bucks is easy to keep in your pocket, and there's no need to show the government this. You understand? But technically, you have to understand that in tactics and strategies, you have to show the government that money that you did make, that somebody gave you $1,000 bucks because you were at the wedding playing the keyboard, and they gave you $1,000 bucks. But that's on your own time. I mean, that's self-employment. I mean, self-employed people, or anybody who's anybody who is in self-employment today has to give 60% of that money you make. I mean, if I go to the church and I do some harmonica there and I make $1,000 bucks, I mean, guess what? I mean, that's never the government's job. I mean, anything that's the government's job is 40% tax. I mean, anything that's never the government's job is 60% tax. Because, I mean, guess what? Because I understand that when I go play an harmonica, I mean, the government has nothing to do with that. I mean, that's self-employment. I mean, understand? Because anybody who's self-employment today has 60% tax to give upon what they make in money. I mean, understand? But guess what they do? I mean, guess what the musicians are doing? I mean, they're just keeping the $1,000 bucks in their pocket. I mean, understand? I mean, now if the police catch them out, I mean, guess what? I mean, they make a jail sentence. I mean, they make it a criminal record. I mean, understand? Because that's money laundering. I mean, money laundering is when you never show the government the money that you're making. You understand? You have to show them that you're making the money. Brushing out anything in the spotlight where you're showing people that you're doing it. That's truth. That's honest. It's honest when you're making it legally. Rosh, now illegal money is dishonest about how did you make it, because you are never showing it. You understand? Rosh, now, would you rather me show you how I make $1 million, or would you rather me never show you how I make $1 million? You'd rather me show you, because that's how the government wants you to show them. You understand? Whereas the government wants you to show them how to make $1 million as well. I mean, because you made it. I mean, so what do? You go and show them. You say, hey, I have $1 million. I made it like this. I went to this event. I made this event. I did this and I did this. I did this and this. I did this and this and this and this on how I made the $1 million. You understand? Or they just want the information on how did you make it. You understand? But if you hide the information here, if you hide that information, that's a cheater. That's somebody who's a liar. That's somebody who's a murderer. That's somebody who's never Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ gets the money and says, hey, this is how I made the money. This is what I've done exactly to make the money. That's legal. That's a legal way to make money. Anybody who's money laundering today or doing it behind the scenes, like for example, in the casino of Crown Melbourne just recently, where they're stealing money. Blackjack tables, and they're putting money here, but they're putting these money. They're putting $1,000 and $10,000 in their pocket from the chip. They're making chips. You understand? They're putting chips in their pockets, and guess what? The chips are missing. You understand? Guess what they're doing? They go to the chip base and say, hey, I just made $10,000 with one chip. The guys, they just give them $10,000. They're saying, because it's one chip that says $10,000. But guess what they're doing at the blackjack tables? The dealers, those people who deal, and the workers there, or they're just putting in their pockets. They're putting these chips in their pockets. What you have to do is realize now, here, it's a scam. It's a big scam, isn't it? Why? Because they're not showing, they are never showing other people on how they're actually making that money that they have. You have to show people how you make the money that you have. You understand? If you never show people how you make the money, you then are going to be in jail. You then are going to be in prison. Because if you want to be in the spotlight, and if you want to live with Jesus Christ, and if you want to live with God, you have to show people how you make that money. That's why they put all the money inside of the house. They have a house and they put all the money there and they hide it from people. Never hide it from people. Never hide that money from people. If you do drug dealing today, and if you have money stacked up in your house right now, and you're hiding it from the government and you're hiding it from the police, guess what you do? You run away from that. You run away from that. You give that money to somebody else. You give all that money to somebody else, and you're going to start fresh. Guess what? Grab $1,000. Grab $1,000. Grab $1,000. Guess what you do? Leave the whole case there. Leave everything there. You understand? Right now, just walk away from it. Right now, if you just walk away from it altogether, you then are saying to everybody that you're going to start living a better life. You understand? But if you hold on to that money, somebody will find you out. Somebody out there will sneak up on you and will tell the police about you. You understand? Because, because the truth comes out. The truth will eventually come out. If you keep it hidden for 6 years, 6 years is just one moment. Really quickly, somebody will find you out. Do you understand? Guess what? Never take the risk. 1 moment is 6 years. Guess what? Every single day, focus on understanding that you have a chance today to make money legally. But that's how I make my money legally. I make $10,000 per hour. Guess what? The musicians, guess what? I called up the musicians from every single area. And guess what I say? Get a band together. You're going to work on your own time over here. You're going to work on your own time. Guess what that means? It means that I'm never going to give them the money that I make from the event. I make $10,000 on a day, but I give $500 to the cameraman. I give $500 to the cameraman. But why do I give $500 to the cameraman? Guess what? I can give the cameraman per hour. If you hire anybody from the 9 to 5 job, you hire them per hour only. You never hire them for the job. Now, there's a big difference. Now, if I say, hey, to the camera hire people, I say, I want to shoot a video. I want to shoot a video that's 3 minutes long, and it's going to take about 3 hours, for example. But it's just that. Now, either way, they're going to charge you basing it on the work. You understand? Now, every single day you have to understand that the workload, that's what they're charging you on. Understand? But what you say is, how much do you charge per hour? How much do you charge yourself per hour? They may say $80 per hour. Guess what? For the job, how much is the job over here to do me the job? They're going to say $5,000. I mean, $5,000, I mean, they finish in 3 hours doing it. I mean, they finish the job in 3 hours. I mean, it's $5,000 you have to give them. I mean, that's for the job. I mean, understand? I mean, guess what? I mean, if you say, how much is it per hour for you to deliver me the service? I mean, they're going to say $80 per hour. I mean, come over here. I mean, now $80 times 3 is $240 to do me the job. I mean, understand? So realize that 9-to-5 job people want to scam you. I mean, understand? I mean, they want to maximize their profit. But what you do is say you only hire them for 1 hour because they're working 9 to 5, mate. I mean, understand? I mean, they work per hour. I mean, the lawyer works per hour. I mean, understand? I mean, guess what? I mean, the lawyers are saying that they are working per minute now. I mean, understand? I mean, for every 7 minutes, they make a certain amount of money. I mean, why 7 minutes? I mean, it's just the way to do it. It's just the way to do it. Rush now, every single day, focus upon understanding that what's important here is focusing on how you can grow yourself. When you're growing yourself, you have to understand that now, since you understand much greater about musicians and all of this, you have to understand that you grab all the musicians, for example. You have to grab all the musicians. Rush now, what you do with the musicians here is understand. You tell them, you grab a band together, but you're going to work for money in your own time. I mean, what that means is they have to go play this music. I mean, they have to play this music. I mean, they have to go and make something of that music to go to the crowd to ask for some money so that they can make the money on the night. I mean, you have nothing to do with that. I mean, you're just going to invite them to the event for free. I mean, come and play for free and try to get some money from the people, is what I'm saying. I mean, now, if you invite people and musicians to do that, of course they'll come. Of course they'll come, because why? I mean, they are doing their passions. I mean, musicians love to play music. I mean, what they do is they get a singer to go around and collecting the money from everybody. I mean, my biological dad is a singer, and he invites a woman as well. But I understand that a singer who sings 9 hours for the day, unfortunately, it's too much for them to sing 9 hours. I mean, that's a lot of work. I mean, guess what? I mean, my biological father gets a woman singer and another man. Unfortunately, now they split up the way of getting the money per 2 hours. Or else my biological dad is going to sing for 2 hours, I realize my biological dad is going to sing for 2 hours. I mean, the woman's going to sing for 2 hours. I mean, the man's going to sing for 2 hours. You understand? Because that's much easier to do, to collect all the money. You understand? But what they're doing is they're making money on black. I mean, they're making money on the side, regardless of them. I mean, they're making money regardless of the government. I mean, and guess what? I mean, they're never ever exposing that to the government. I mean, understand? I mean, if they make $10,000 from the crowd, and they split it $2,000 each. I mean, they just put it in the pocket and then, they just go. I mean, that's what the musicians do today. I mean, understand? Now, every single day you focus upon understanding that if you want to make it legally, you have to go and show it to the government. Now, if you find $50 on the floor, for example, I mean, if you just grab it and you put it in your pocket, you made the money. But you are dishonest to me. I mean, do you understand? Because you didn't report it. You never did report the money that you stole. I mean, guess what? I mean, that's stealing money. I mean, if you find $50 on the floor, even 5 cents, you have to report that money to somebody. You have to report it. I mean, guess what? I mean, what you do is realize you never work for black money. You never work for black money. You make sure you understand that if you find money on the floor somewhere, you give it to somebody else. You understand? Or even if it's $1 million, because if you're going, because if you're going and you see $1 million on the floor, I mean, you're going to be like this. You're going to be like, I mean, is anybody watching me over here? I mean, there's $1 million. I mean, whose money is it? I mean, somebody's money. I mean, they left $1 million on the floor. I mean, are you going to pick it up? I mean, why do you want to pick it up? I mean, you have to pick it up. You pick it up, you show the police right away. Show the police right away. I mean, say, hey, I found $1 million. I mean, guess what? I mean, you say, I want to make this legally. You say to the police, I want to make this money legally, mate. I mean, guess what? I mean, they say, no worries, mate. I mean, we're going to take 60% of this money, though. I mean, the government's going to take 60% of the $1 million. I mean, you can have 400,000. I mean, thank you very much. I mean, is it legal? But it's legal for you to take it. You understand? But now $400,000 is in your bank account. I mean, you understand? I mean, it's in your bank account. I mean, guess what? I mean, if you go and understand, it's either $400,000 is in your bank account. I mean, either $400,000 is in your bank account, or $1 million is under a cover somewhere and under your house. I mean, what are you doing? I mean, understand? I mean, it's either that or the other way. I mean, what do you want? I mean, it's much better for you to go to the government and to report the money that you've made. You understand? But now, the more money you make, I mean, if you make more money, I mean, why not report it? I mean, you understand? I mean, you're making more money anyway. I understand. I mean, those people who are making less money throughout time are the ones who are cheating. I mean, they're cheating. I mean, they're making less money throughout time, and they never want to show people how they're making the money, but they're making less money. I mean, if you're making more money though, I mean, show it legally and you make more money. I mean, go the more way. I mean, in the sense, every single day, focus on understanding that if you have a nice, beautiful video and you want to break the 1 hour video, you want to break the 2 hour mark, you want to break the 3 hour mark, you want to talk for 12 hours in front of people, I mean, guess what you're doing? You have to understand fast communication. You have to go fast communication to be able to power drive your video in a better way. I mean, in a sense, if you want to achieve something and you want to go and do it, you have to go and really quickly do it. You have to motivate yourself so much to do it. I mean, you have to motivate yourself so much to go and do it that you go and overcome it. You overcome that temptation. You have to overcome the temptation of everything by fast communication. You understand? I mean, now guess what? I mean, there's a big difference between me and other people. I understand either way that what's amazing is if you go around now doing live performances, you do a live performance for 1 hour, you charge people $150 on the door. I mean, guess what? I mean, that's the only way to make money today. The only way to make money today is on door sales. I mean, you understand? That's it. I mean, how else can you make money? You can never ever make money any other way except in door sales. And now when you have a door sale, you put on a show for people. I mean, guess what? I mean, they'll give you the money prior to the show, and then you do the show and you make the money after the show. You go to the people who are making the money and they count the money up and they roll the numbers of how many people did attend. Right now, we split half. Right now, half of what I do have, I give it to Bill the cameraman. I mean, guess what? I'll go to the bank. I say, tax me 60% of this money. Right now, guess what? I have the money. I have 40% of the money. I mean, you make $1 million, you have 40% of it. You understand? Right now, either way, you go make more events. I mean, that's how it's done after a 9-to-5 job. I mean, understand? Right now, in the 9-to-5 job, right now, tax you already before you are doing anything. I mean, in a sense, so $800 may be in your pocket from the week, but you're meant to actually get 100. You're actually meant to get 1,500. You understand? I mean, they're taxing you already before you even do anything. I mean, you understand? Alright, now every single day, focus on understanding that if you want to make money on the side, and if you want to make money in life, you have to do live performances in front of people, and you have to be physically in front of people to do it. Unfortunately, now online, you can never make money online. You can never make money online, you understand? But now, the only way to make money online is to do more information work. But now, it's the only way to do life. But now, if you do spirituality only today, and if you're only ever communicating faster, you will just make money. I mean, it's that simple. I mean, if you just focus on more communicational skills and talking faster, you'll lead yourself eventually to make all the money you ever need. Unfortunately, it's that simple. Unfortunately, although, that if you want to make physical cash, you have to be in front of people to do it. Unfortunately, Tony Robbins, who is one of the best life coaches in the planet, has to go in front of people to charge people and give them a performance live to make all the money. I mean, understand? Whereas now, real estate is something different. Whereas now, if you have real estate, I mean, guess what? I mean, the government's still taxing you. I mean, the government will still tax your house. I mean, understand? I mean, guess what? I mean, even though you have tax incentives, whereas now, guess what? I mean, they say you have tax. They're saying that you have tax incentives. I mean, guess what you do? I mean, you have to understand every single day that you're still making money from that real estate. I mean, do you understand? You're still making money more. And that's the tax incentives that they are talking about. I mean, the money that you make from real estate is something that's a tax incentive. I mean, understand? I mean, the money that you make in life is tax incentive. I mean, there's no tax on it. I mean, anything that's taxing you is trying to take away from you. I mean, taxes is a liability. I mean, taxes is something that's always taken away from you. I mean, they take away $20,000 from me when I make $30,000. I mean, they're taking away from me. I'm adding to my life by having $10,000 to me. I mean, understand? So every single day, focus on understanding that if you want to make events, you make a 1 hour event. I mean, why 1 hour? I mean, why do you have to go give them an 8-hour seminar to make the same amount of cash? I mean, what for? I mean, make it in 1 hour. I mean, in a sense, so 1 hour is the maximum of a live performance that you can give anyway. I mean, what's the point of doing any less, for example? I mean, you listen to a comedy show, I mean, listen to 1 hour. I mean, 1 hour is something that people can listen to. I mean, understand? I mean, people can listen to you for 1 hour. I understand. I mean, 10 hours, I mean, they start falling asleep on you. I mean, understand? But guess what? I mean, every single day, you can also perform these massive seminars and do 12-hour days if you want. I mean, it's up to you. I understand, although it's for your growth. I mean, it's for your growth. I realize now, if you go above and beyond, and you go and start doing all these events even more, so now you're just profiting from it. You're the one that's profiting. You're the one that's helping people more and more. And you're in the spotlight even more. Understand? Yes, you have to give a bit extra money per hour to the cameraman, but guess what? You're the one that's profiting in front of people now. You're the spotlight for 12 hours. Understand? 1 hour, 12 hours, you're going to make all the money in the first hour. After that, you're making money by giving information. You're making yourself grow in the process now. Guess what? Is it worth your growth? I promise it's worth your growth. I promise now, every single day, focus on understanding that whatever you want, you can achieve it as long as you make everybody achieve more. Make sure you understand every single day Zig Ziglar and go and check him out. Or every single day, focus on understanding that whatever you want today, you can achieve it if you help other people achieve it. Understand? I'm pretty sure that's what Zig Ziglar says. Now, every single day, focus upon understanding that if you go and really, really achieve something that you love to do every single day, you have to understand it's live performance in front of people. It's the best way to make money. But understand it. I understand this. I understand if you go and do music production, you can go and do dancing recitals. And now, what happens with dancing recitals is some people go as a crew. Now, 10 of them start dancing in front of a crowd. They charge people at the door the tickets, but guess what they do? The company who advertises those 10 people, gets half the money. Now, guess what happens? Half the money goes toward the 10 people. Now, guess what? Half the money is split 10 ways each. Now, there's a big difference here. They have to report the money. And then they get taxed. They're the ones who gain tax here, 60% on that money, and then they gain 40% on that money. Understand? Guess what? Most probably that these people who are doing data recitals around town are doing money laundering. Understand? Because guess what? Half the money is going to the company. To make events and to make more events. The company that hires you to go do a live performance, they have to get the security guards. That's never your job to do. You never get security guards in your life. Your job is to get a cameraman or a camera woman or a camera person. Understand? Per hour. The first hour, you give it to them. It's worth it. The first hour is the peak hour. It's the best hour of any hour. The first hour of life is the best. That's the best hour. Understand? Because it's the first hour. Understand? And then the second hour is half your life. Understand? The third hour is even half the half-life. Understand? guess what? That's how it is. Understand? But guess what? Your quality of life is always going up, regardless of how it is. Understand? Now, every single day, focus on understanding that when you're growing, you have to understand, you go solo. Solo is the best way to make money. If you just go and make a massive event around you, and 15,000 people come to you, half the money is going to the other people. Half the money is going to you. You profit the most on that day. Individually, you'll profit the most. Now guess what? Now, Bonnering Surf Club over here in Sydney, Australia. Now here, I can book a nice beautiful events around Australia with the Serbian people. And guess what happens? I make sure I get the Serbian community in terms of life to come there every single day and in terms of every single month that I get there. But I understand I get musicians and all this. But I understand either way that I'm always looking for ways to improve. So what does I Am Bonnering do about the money? Guess what? I come there at 7 p.m. I make sure that everybody's there already. Everybody's there. And guess what? I rock up on the stage. I start doing a keynote speech. I do a 1 hour. I just do this for 1 hour. It's so easy. I just stand up in front of a crowd and do it. Guess what? I'm the spotlight. I'm very popular now. 1 month prior to that, people are talking about this event. Understand? And guess what? Once I finish my nice, beautiful speech, I say goodbye. I thank you very much for coming and enjoy your night. Whereas now, either way, I get the hell out of there. I get the hell out of there. Because why? Because people there are jealous of me. They're so jealous of me that I never want to find myself around them. I never want to find myself around people who are much poorer than me and much slower than me in communicational skills. What I do is I go out and about. I go get my Uber driver. I just go to my accommodation. At 3 o'clock in the morning, when they're counting the money and everything's over, I come with the Uber. I start talking to the people and I say, how much do we make over here? How many people did attend? Guess what? If somebody's stealing money, we'll find out. We're going to find out because the numbers never lie. Or numbers never lie because if 400 people attend the program and they say 400 people, 400 people times 150, Obviously, we're going to have a certain number. We have 60,000 we just made. We just made 60,000. I say you guys have 30,000, of course. Guess what? They have to give the security guards some money or whatever. I understand, although they make a good amount of money here. But that's the company. That's the RSL club or the workers club. Or so, that's going to the community club. That's going to the treasury of the community club. There's nobody like me who's making money here other than I. Now, either way, now, they say, you have 30,000. I thank you very much. I'll put 30,000 bucks in my pocket. I leave with 13,000. I leave with 30,000 bucks in the night. Guess what's going to happen? They have to report that money also. Now, the company there has to report that money. I have to report that money. Guess what? If I never report that money, they will report that money. Now, since they were reporting that money, the bank's going to ask them who else was at that event making more money. Now, they're going to say Danny Milivojevic did gain the other $30,000. They're going to have the system that you made 30,000 bucks, regardless of whether you show it or not to the bank. Understand? Because the bank is the government. Understand? Guess what? If I run away with the money and I never show it to them ever again, what happens? They come after me. They'll come after me eventually. They found me out already. Understand? If you try to hide the money, if you're trying to hide the money, somebody found you out already. Somebody's seen you doing it. Understand? The truth has to come out. Understand? So if you're drug dealing, most probably, you have to understand, honestly, that the next individual who gave you the drugs or who's drug dealing with you, they are spies on you. They will tell people about you. Understand? If you have $1 million in your garage, but you never give it to the woman who comes to do the work for you, guess what? You have $1 million. She never makes that $1 million because of you. Understand? But it's not because of you. It's because of everybody. Guess what? Either way, you have to understand that's even better. Although that she's going to say, hey, you're just a dirty prick. I'm going to tell the police on you because you never even want to give me a piece of the pie. The guy's keeping $1 million away from her and he never wants to give her anything of it. She comes and delivers him whatever, but he never gives her a tip. You understand? She says that he's cheap. She wants to go to the police to tell him so that he can go to jail for 12 years. Understand? That's it. Why? Because he's never giving her anything. He's never giving money to her. He's never trying to help other people. And that's why he's going to prison. If you never ever go helping other people, that's why you're going to prison. If you're trying to killing people, or if you're trying to kill people, you're never trying to help people, man. Now, what the difference is understand every single day, focus on helping people rather than killing people. Would you rather kill a person or help a person? You have to help a person, you understand? Whereas now, every single day, focus on understanding that the people you're making money with are going to dob on you, and they're going to complain about you, that you have more money than them. Make sure you go report it to the government before they do, so you can make it legally. And regardless of whether or not that they are complaining about you, what you do is you report it and let them complain, but you make it legally. You make it legally, and then guess what happens? You now control the world, and let them complain. Let them complain. Nobody's coming after you. Understand? Now if they come after you because they're jealous of you, let them. Understand? Guess what? Everybody back in the past was complaining about Jesus Christ just being alive. Understand? And without money. They were jealous of his talk. Understand? That's the worst of all. Understand? Guess what? Either way, you have to understand that if you understand that, now go and really, really deliver much more content and give people much more communicational skills and be able to talk faster, and then you're going to understand how to live life. I understand, although, that now I have 30,000, I'll walk away from that nice, beautiful club, but I understand either way that nobody's stealing from me because I have 30,000. I understand? although I just leave the scene, I leave the scene, I say next month I make another one over here. Guess what? Or else we'll organize everything again. I understand, I just made $10,000 per hour here. I do 1 hour speech in front of people and that's it. I just made 10,000 bucks in one night. I made 10,000 bucks in 1 hour. You understand? 20,000 bucks. Who cares about 20,000 bucks when I can make 10,000 bucks legally? I can make 10,000 bucks legally. I never have to go working 50 hours. I never have to work 400 hours of a 9-to-5 job with the $10,000 that I made in 1 hour. They have to work 400 hours at a 9-to-5 job to make the same equivalent of what I made in 1 hour. Understand? There's a big difference. Understand? They have to work 50 days at a 9-to-5 job. I just have to work 1 hour, mate. to get the same amount of money. I mean, what did I do? I mean, I just make a Canva, nice, beautiful design. I call up the Bunnering event. I call the RSL club or anything. I say, hey, I want to charge $150 at your door. I have the musicians ready to go. I mean, I want to make this big event around you. I want you also to understand that whoever comes and however many people come to the event, I want to start at 9 o'clock in the morning. I want to finish at 3 o'clock I want to finish at 3 o'clock at night time. Now, I want to split the pie with you. I want you to make 30,000. I want to make 30,000. I understand. I mean, we're just going to split half. And guess what? I mean, let's have a look. Is the night going to be successful or not? That's it. Now, if nobody shows up, guess what we do? We just give the cameraman 1 hour worth. I mean, that's it. I mean, we lost nothing. We lost nothing, man. I mean, do you want to make the event or not? I mean, guess what? The night is going to be much more of a success than it is going to be a failure. I mean, guess what? I mean, if I come over here and I put the musicians here to work for themselves. I mean, I'm never giving the musicians money here. I mean, they're just coming for free for me so that they can make money for themselves. I'll make money for myself. I'll make $10,000 a night. I'll make $10,000 on the night. I'll make $10,000 on a night. Unfortunately, the musicians are trying to bargain with the actual crowd to give them money. They're trying to bargain with people to give them money. I already made the money on the door. I made $10,000. I mean, these people may make $200 on a night. I mean, the musicians may make $200 on a night. I made $10,000 already. I mean, there's a big difference. I mean, I understand, but that's why if I call the musicians and I say, hey, I'll give you $1,000 each, I mean, come over here. I mean, guess what? I'm already $5,000 in minus then. I mean, why give them that privilege? I mean, I understand. I mean, guess what? I mean, I already keep $5,000 for myself. I mean, I make them work for themselves. I understand. I make $10,000. I mean, this is about teaching people something. You understand? I'm teaching people something here. I rush every single day. I'm focusing on understanding. Either way, I make $10,000. But guess what? I mean, everybody there. I mean, the workers of that night and the company that's making half the money. I mean, guess what? I mean, they're going to give the employees some money over that pie. Whereas that pie is going to. I mean, let's say we make $30,000 each, but they're going to give the securities money and the 9 to 5 workers in that night. I mean, they're going to give them that money. I mean, guess what? I mean, everything else is going in the treasury of that company because what they're going to do is make more events from that money. I mean, understand? You make money from making events around the world. That's the only way to make money today, being self-employment. I mean, understand? Every single day, there's no other way to make money other than making sure that you're in front of people. I mean, I have to get in front of people here to make an event. I have to make an event in front of people to make the money. Whereas now, every single day, I understand that other people are doing this. Whereas they're advertising at hotels, and then they're pitching people at the hotels to make some money. I mean, they're bargaining with the crowd here, just like the musicians over here. I mean, understand? I'm a bunch of life coaches. Whereas now, I understand Ben Harvey, for example. Whereas he makes a nice, beautiful seminar, and then guess what? He starts to pitch people halfway through the seminar about himself and to get the package of what he's selling. Whereas he may say $10,000 for this package, but then he says, I'll give you a discount at $4,000. And then he says, you guys can stand up and go. Or although for you guys who have no money, either way, I'll give you this for $200. I mean, do you guys have the money? I mean, guess what? I mean, either way, he has to report that money too. Or he has to report the money he's made. I mean, he has to report the money that he's making. And now, if you make a subscription plan with people and you're making all this money online, you have to report that money. Whereas now, that online money goes straight into your bank account, mate. I mean, guess what? I mean, you're already making that money. I mean, if you make $1 million online, I mean, 400,000 is going into your bank account. And money is just pouring into your bank account. I mean, online making of money is just going into your bank account. I mean, there's no need to worry about anything. I mean, if it's online transactions and it goes into your bank account, apparently it's already processing through tax. You understand that? Whereas now, every single day, you have TIN in Australia. You have also TFN, and TIN is another word for tax identification number, which is tax file number in Australia. But the ACN is really saying that it's a company organization over here that's never the personal brand. So the personal brand is Danny Milivojevic, but the company brand is Nike or Adidas. I understand. So ACN is for the companies who are making companies like Nike and Adidas or Dolce & Gabbana or Ferrari. I understand. I mean, those are company brands. So that's what the ACN is for. But the ABN, which is Australian Business Number, is for people who are, let's say, making a business, who want to do something they want to do something around managing the finances of the receipts and everything to make sure that they have insurance about the company that they're working for, which is themselves, to make sure that they are safe, so that they are registering themselves that they are making a business here. Understand? If you go and register yourself with an ABN number, what happens is you then are somebody who has a business. In your registration, you are in the yellow pages now. Understand? You are a registering business. You are actually official now. You're official. You are definitely official as soon as you get the ABN number. People without an ABN number are still self-employment, but they're never official yet about the business. You understand? So you have to give them money about the ABN number, because every single company in the world needs your ABN number before doing business with you. You understand? Because they want to understand that you're official. Understand? Versus just security. Understand? Versus just insurance for you to be able to work with people. Versus that's that. Versus now every single day focus on understanding that you need yourself an ABN number in your country, which is your country's business number. I'll brush it either way. You have to get yourself a BSB and account number, which is with your bank. And then make sure you're receiving payments and receiving investments from people, even in face-to-face modules. So if you go in front of people and they ask you, hey, I want to understand a bit of your information, you say, hey, here's my checkout process, man. $200 to get this information from you right now. Guess what? They say, no worries. Guess what? You say, you give me a phone. I go to my Nice Beautiful website. I check out the process. I say, one quality, $200. What do you want? Do you want Visa or what? Guess what? They pull MasterCard. Put your digits in, man. Guess what? Check out. I get the $200. It goes in straight. I brush you. Now, 60% of that may get in tax. I brush either way. I get some money. Brush you. What do you want to do? Or I'll give you the information now. Brush, that's that. Brush, that's how simple it is every single day. Understandable though, guys. I'm just nice to over here. Much more appropriate. You have to understand every single day, focus on understanding that whatever's important to you in your life, you have to understand sometimes to go even to the hostel or to the accommodation or to the motel or to the hotel or where you're actually staying at. And what you do is you go and say, hey, I need a towel. Do you guys do a towel hire? Do you guys do a towel hire? Do you understand what I mean? I want to give you some money so that I can have a towel. Do you understand? Every single day, focus on understanding to ask them, do they have towels for hire in this Nice Beautiful accommodation center where you are? Right now, every single day, focus upon understanding that when you're really, really focusing on something really much brilliant, you must go and speak to everybody online and everybody now, everywhere online and everywhere in real life. But as long as you're communicating in a way that you are growing. Right now, if you are growing, you can communicate to them. But if you're just having a slow conversation about life that has nothing to do with growth, I'm approaching now, get out really quickly, because that's wasting your time. Now, if you can communicate faster only, you can communicate to anybody right now. You can go to anybody right now and communicate. It's that simple. But if you understand, if two men slow down their communication together, what happens is, eventually becomes violence. Understand? Now, two people, or two men or two women, slow down their communicational skills, it becomes violence. Understand? But if people, in terms of two people or one person or anybody in life, increases their communicational skills and talks faster and faster, they experience less violence throughout life. So what you do every single day is understand that those people who are communicating less throughout time and slower throughout time are the ones who are in more violence and more drugs and more into the crowd and more into, let's say, poor lifestyles. You understand? Now, poor people are the ones who causing violence. Now, rich people never cause violence. Now, every single day, if you communicate more and more and more, and the crowd around you is communicating more and more, you have to be around those people. You have to be around people who are communicating very fast, like JT Fox and like I brush your eye over everybody. I brush now every single day. Understand this. Brush now. You have to understand. You have to be a fast communicator. You have to talk fast. And now, my Serbian words and how I speak Serbian right now is very slow. It's very slow. But guess what? I'm increasing the pace of my communication inside of my Serbian journal. And now, because I have a Serbian journal, I'm writing all these words, but I'm trying to look at what kind of words can I actually talk about in my Serbian journal. I'm talking these massive words, but it's very slow, and my typing is very slow. Whereas now, because my typing is very slow, I have to speed up that communicational typing. I have to be able to type really quickly about everything. I mean, understand? Because the faster you are in your communicational skills about anything in life, I mean, the faster you have to practice and practice and practice. I mean, Djokovic has to run faster throughout the tennis court to be able to win the tennis game. I mean, understand? I mean, he has to communicate faster and better than the other individual to be able to be a champion. I understand? I mean, a champion is always a champion because they communicate like a champion. I understand? Whereas now a champion communicates faster and faster. And now if you want to have sex with other people and all that, I mean, guess what? I mean, you can go really quickly. You can really quickly go to them and you can say, hey, I mean, I want to have sex with you. I mean, are you keen on having sex right now? I mean, yes, it's very fast, isn't it? I mean, in the first words, I mean, inside the first sentence, I mean, you're going to get a yes or no. Or it's 50-50. Or yes or no. Or now, guess what? I mean, somebody may say yes. Or now, if they say no, I mean, just move on. I mean, go to the next individual and say, hey, I mean, do you want to have sex with me? I mean, guess what? I mean, either way, you have to understand, that's the only way. Or that's it. I mean, if they say yes, I mean, guess what? You have the sex. You have sex straight away. But guess what you do in sex? You have very fast sex. I mean, it's very quick. I mean, guess what? I mean, make sure you're really quick about it. Because there's no time to waste. I understand? Or do you want to have sex for 50 years with one woman? And that's all you ever want to do? I mean, you want to have sex with one individual all your life in terms of just on the bed now? I mean, let's just say we get on the bed now, but for 50 years we're just having sex. I mean, how about life? I mean, how about Spain? I mean, how about traveling somewhere else? I mean, how about doing something? I mean, how about having kids and going to the beach with the kids or something? I mean, do you want to have sex for your life or do you want to go and experience life? I mean, guess what? I mean, have everything, but make sure you understand that if you have everything, you have Jesus Christ only. I mean, focus on Jesus Christ and focus on fast communicational skills. You understand? Because what's amazing is understand that you today can go and get escorts, you can get all this. I mean, you never have to chase a woman in your life. Whereas now, if you just give them money, whereas they'll say yes. Whereas now, if you just make people money at the doors or in life, you'll actually get a yes. Whereas now, if you want to talk to millionaires and billionaires and be in front of stars, you have to give them money. Whereas now, if you understand that, whereas now you're God. Whereas now you actually can go and communicate and you can do everything you ever want. I understand? But if you want to go around pitching people, you can. You can pitch people everywhere. But what's amazing is understand that if you start pitching people at events right now, you win. You win straight away. I mean, why do you win? Because you win because you deserve it. You deserve the money because you're asking for it in front of people. I understand? I mean, you win straight away and somebody will give you money for what you have done. I understand? But what is amazing, instead of doing free events around town, I mean, make sure your events especially is something that you're charging for. Because otherwise, you're going to get yourself a master's degree and you're going to have the money regardless. But what you want to do is charge people regardless of charge them regardless of what's happening. I understand? Because they're not in it for you. They're never there for you. I mean, you understand? I mean, they're there to learn something from you and that's it. I understand? Now, guess what? They're there for you so that you can show them something. You're there for yourself. You're there to make sure that you're growing. You're there making sure that you're making money. But they are the ones listening to you. I mean, they're never even making money. I mean, they're saying, but you have to fend for yourself. And you have to pitch them. You have to understand that if you go like JT Fox around town and you start really pitching everybody around your seminars, I mean, guess what? I mean, go and do it. I mean, understand either way that if you can do it, you can do it. I mean, if you have all the money, or else if you have all the money already, you never have to pitch them. You never have to pitch anybody. But guess what? I mean, guess what? You increase your attention. You increase attention. Any type of free work that you're doing, any type of free work that you're doing is increasing your attention right now. I mean, understand? I mean, people come to you straight away because you're doing something for free. But if you're charging them, guess what happens? I mean, if you're somebody of a millionaire, I mean, they come to you because you have all the plastic money too. Understand? So you win the best of both. You win the best of both worlds. You understand? I realize now every single day, focus on understanding that you have to go and guide yourself throughout communication. You have to be very quick about how you're really doing anything in life. You have to be a Speedy Gonzalez to make sure you have to really understand how it is to speak and to communicate in front of people. But it's like a sharp laser sword. I mean, when I'm talking to you like this, I mean, the words are large and clear. I mean, they're small and clear too. I understand? Version, my words are everything. And version, my words is sharp like a knife. Version, you can hear it. You can hear my words like sharp in terms of a knife. And the more I give you that, version, the more sharp I am. I understand? Version, every single day, focus on understanding that you have to get your mindset sharper. And then if you get your mindset sharper, version, if you're getting your mindset sharper and you're looking better over time, version, it's because you're communicating more throughout life. Version, I'll do 3-hour seminars a day inside of my video coaching tools right here. Because why? Because I have to talk and talk and talk and talk. I have to understand, I have to backstroke, and I have to freestyle, and I have to go in sports and do everything in life because I can do it, because I can fastly communicate it. I understand? Because guess what? Whereas that my muscles may look like this, but I have $1 billion. I understand? I mean, you may be wanting to go with a man because he has 1 centimeter muscles bigger, but I understand he's an individual maybe who has 20 grand in their pocket. I understand I have $1 billion in my pocket. I understand? So every single day, that if you want to communicate $1 billion in your life, you have to go and achieve it. You have to go and achieve it every single day and focus on getting the real estate to get you there. Real estate is the number one way to get yourself into a multi-billionaire. That's it. Now, you have to understand it's really your communicational skills. Whereas although you have to understand that if you raise your communicational skills, you'll get to $1 billion and more. Now, that's it. You just have to talk. You have to talk your way there. That's it. Now, if you just stick to the communicational side of life, and you just communicate more and more and more and more, you have everything. That's it. That's simple. That's everything that you ever want. If you just stick to that tool, I taught you a tool there. That's a nice, beautiful strategy that you have to apply into your life. Now, if you understand that before you start your nice, beautiful video, either way, there may be a change of quality over here in terms of my audio, but I understand either way that I did unplug my nice, beautiful microphone, and you guys can actually hear me from both sides, so it's excellent. But now I did plug in my microphone this time, because ever since I did place myself in my singlet over here, I understand it's all connecting together, but I understand either way that my audio may have changed. My audio may be different now, but I have to check it out also. I have to check out everything, but I understand either way, if you just communicate more and more clearly and you give people new ideas every single day, you're going to be someone famous. Now, why are you going to be famous? Because you're going to communicate that. You're going to communicate much more spotlight. You're going to be in front of people much more. But I understand eventually that if you're slowing yourself down because of something, I never want you to slow down for anything. But if you want to have much more, let's say, in your life, you have to understand that you have to make time for everything. Now, every single day, focus on understanding you have 365 days a year. You have to understand how many live performances do you want to give a year from that 365 days. Now, I give live performances 2 days a week somewhere. Now, 2 days a week means 120 days a year. Understand? Now, that's around 12 years of life, where you have to understand where I'm traveling somewhere to give a live performance. That's 12 years of my life right there. That means that 2 days of every single year, I'll calculate over here as well. You have to understand that 2 days, because I'm 28 years of age, you have to understand I calculate everything over 100 years. So 2 days times 52. Is that simple? That's 104 days a year. I'm traveling somewhere and I'm giving a live performance. But 104 hours of live performances a year. Understand? I'm giving that much of hours in front of a camera, in front of people. Now, times 72. Why times 72? I see 2 times 52 times 72. Why 72 years? Because in 72 years' time, I'll be 100 years of age. I made 7,488 videos of hours. 7,488 hours throughout my lifetime until 100 years of age. That's the calculation. Now, am I going to live more than that? I'll live more than that. Now, either way, now, if I divide by that in 24, I get 312 days of content I made just on the road and traveling in front of people. I have been talking in front of people throughout my lifetime for 312 days. Is that simple? Now, 312 days of my life. Days. So including the hours in a day. Understand? There's 24 hours in a day. I've been talking for all that amount of time and 312 days. Just talking and talking and talking in front of people. Understand? So that's a nice, beautiful calculation of something I'm going to write inside of my financial input. And now in my financial input, I get the total numbers, I'll put them in. And I then make a note and say, what is this number for? Because I want to reference it. I want to teach people how to make numbers. Understand? Because 312 is going to go into SXP here. I branch it either way. I save this much time. I save all this time. Understand? Because every single day, I understand that no matter what you say, you have to understand every single day your numbers must grow. You must understand that if you're going and communicating much faster in front of people, they have to pick up your vibe. You're much more attractive when you are talking much more in front of people than they are with you. Do you understand? If you're the one leading the seminar, or you're the one on stage, and everybody's watching you, you are communicating more to that crowd than they are to you. Understand? That's how it is. You're traveling. I mean, you understand? Approach, if I'm in front of a 10 million crowd and I'm the public speaker and they're watching me, approach, I'm communicating more. Yeah. I mean, you understand? Approach, they're the ones that are yet to learn this. I mean, you understand? So every single day, focus on saying that everybody can do it. Approach, anybody can do it. But what you have to realize is everybody is trying to chase women and everybody's trying to chase men. I never chase men. I never chase women. I chase I. I chase the word I, and then I just grow my communicational skills. I grow the vision of communication. I mean, you understand? And now Les Brown is teaching you how to communicate. I'm teaching you how to communicate. I mean, everybody's teaching you how to communicate. Whereas now, you have to understand that only individual in the world that wants to actually teach you is you. I mean, you're the only individual that has to put in the hours to communicate. I mean, you have to put in the hours of work in yourself to communicate and more with yourself and to be alone with yourself and to travel the world with yourself. I mean, understand? Because what you do every single day is focus upon yourself and your life and focus upon communicating everything much more. I mean, I have to communicate music much more. I have to say, hey, I mean, go into your laptop and start doing this and start doing this and start doing. I have to communicate that. I mean, once I start doing it, I mean, I say, I want to do this, I want to do that in the actual music that I make. I want to do this. I mean, I want to make this sound. But how do I do that? I mean, I want to make a sound, but I mean, you're going to hear the sound, but you may never believe anything big of that sound. I mean, I may make a. I mean, guess what? I mean, I make that sound come true. I mean, understand? But guess what? I mean, you may never ever find that really, let's say, something. But if you give me $1 million to hear that sound, you will now find that attractive. You'll find that actual sound attractive now. I mean, understand? Because you gave me $1 million of your plastic money to actually hear the sound. I mean, do you see how valuable my sound is now? But if I give it to you for free, Roshi, you never value it for free. You never value this content that I give you for free. You understand? Roshi, you're never valuing it. I value it. I mean, understand? You have to understand that what's amazing is if you give money to something, you value that. You understand? I mean, what you never give money to, you never value it. You understand? Roshi, every single day, focus upon understanding that the more money you give, the more you'll value what you give. Understand? Whereas now, every single day, focus on understanding that information is something of a commodity that always goes up, and you have to give money toward that. You have to give money toward people who can teach you the ideas that you need. I mean, you understand? You have to give yourself money only, and then focus upon understanding that if you go and grow people in seminars, and every single day, focus on understanding. I'm 28 years of age. I mean, do you believe I can make a seminar around the world somewhere and make $5,000 in one night? I'll brush up and do it. I'll brush it. Do you believe that you can make $10,000 in one night? I mean, do you believe that you can make $10,000 in one night? Roshi, you have to say yes. Roshi, now, every single time, Jim Rohn says that if you understand that you can make everything, Roshi, now, are you able to make $20,000 in one night? Roshi, now, you have to say yes. I mean, of course you can. I mean, can you make $50,000 in one night? Roshi, yes, you can. Roshi, now, can you make $1 million in one night? Roshi, yes, you can. Roshi, you can make all the money in the world, as Jim Rohn says. Roshi, now, every single day, focus on understanding I can make all the money in the world. Understand? Roshi, now, every single day, focus on understanding that there are so many people around me, but I understand people around me right now. Roshi, they're very attractive to me. Roshi, now, why they're very attractive to me? Roshi, they're in attraction with me in terms of toward me. I mean, understand? Roshi, now, with them, Roshi, I'm already attractive. I'm attractive. Why? I'm already attractive. So to me, they're very slow communicators. I'd rather get away from them because to me, they're unattractive. I mean, understand? I mean, they're very unattractive to me, but I'm attractive more than them. I mean, understand? I'm more attractive than anybody. I understand all that, but why are they less attractive for me, but they are more, let's say, in their eyes, or else they find me more attractive than themselves? I mean, guess what? I mean, because they have low self-esteem, I'm so much more high self-esteem, and why is that? Because I have more communicational skills than them. I mean, they're very slow. They're very slow to talk. I see this woman, and she's smiling. I say, "You look very happy today," and she looks at me, and she never replies. I mean, she's somebody of a zombie. I mean, she has no life. I mean, she's a woman that is never going to do anything. I mean, understand? I say, hey, you have a nice, beautiful smile, and you never reply to me. Now, guess what? I mean, I'm just a better communicator than you. I mean, you have to say, I thank you very much. I mean, where are you going, Danny? You have to be leading the conversation here. You have to say, I didn't notice this. I mean, you're asking me a question over here. I mean, guess what? I mean, I am just going to do a life coaching video. I mean, do you want to come? I mean, now, either way, I'm asking her to come with me. I mean, why do I have to even ask her to come with me? Because I'm doing a life coaching video. I mean, guess what? I mean, I'll just say, hey, I have to go and do a life coaching video. I mean, now she may want to lead the conversation, or if she never leads the conversation, she'll say like that. I mean, I say, I'm going to do a life coaching video, but she says, I mean, she has no communicational skills here. Understand? Or she says, I mean, really? I mean, what are you actually going to talk about? I mean, she has to ask me this. I mean, guess what? I mean, I say, oh, I mean, she actually hit me over here. I mean, guess what? I mean, she catching my attention over here. I mean, guess what I say? I mean, I'll be talking about life. I mean, here I'm just closing the conversation. I'm closing the conversation because I have to go do something. I mean, now she wants to lead. I mean, if she wants to lead the conversation here, I mean, she says, I mean, she can say, hey, I hope that you enjoy your life. I hope that you enjoy your nice beautiful session. Or now that's a compliment to me, and that means, hey, I can actually talk to her. I can actually talk to her once I see her again. I mean, yes, because she's selling me on saying to me that she wants to do something with me. I mean, yes, I mean, that's it. I mean, I say, thank you very much. Thank you. I'll just go over here. I mean, yes, I mean, guess what? I mean, if she says something like anything that she has no communicational skills, I just go. I mean, yes, but I never talk to her again. I mean, guess what? I talk to her. I always talk to people. But what I do is I lead the conversation first. I mean, you have to understand that if you want to be a leader, you have to lead first. You understand? But now your parents and your friends and your people are never going to contact you first. Your responsibility is to contact them first. I mean, you're the leader. You have to lead first before them do. Or you have to lead first before they do. You have to understand that. But now, if they're leading you, I mean, what's the point of that? I mean, would you rather lead them first, or would you let them lead you first? I'd rather you lead them first. I mean, understand? I'd rather you be the first one on Mars before them. I mean, would you rather them have all the money in the world and all the success in the world before you? Or would you rather have the success in the world and all the money in the world before them? You have to have all the money and success in the world before them. You understand? That's what you're doing. You never ever do anything other than making sure that you're growing. I understand? So every single day, focus on understanding. I'm here, down in these videos. I'm making sure everybody can understand who I am. I'm making sure they understand I'm working over here. I mean, this is my work. I mean, my work is communicational skills. I make sure that I make sure when you see me, I'll be pricing ads. I'll be making sure that you understand my communicational skills. I mean, understand? I say, what do you want? I mean, you want me, you come here, you're going to give me money before you even see me, mate. I mean, understand? I mean, there's no pitching you in front of the camera, mate. I mean, understand? I mean, here, I mean, I give it to you for free. I mean, here, I mean, guess what? I mean, for me to make something online now, I can do it. I can say, hey, I mean, click the link below if you want something. I mean, understand? I mean, that's me asking for money from you. I mean, it's like the musicians who are going to the wedding to say to the singer to go get the money, or to play music for somebody to make the money. I mean, guess what? I mean, that's self-employment. I mean, understand? But guess what I do? I mean, before I even do that, I never even do that anymore. I never even try to ask you for money, man. I make sure I just make these events around town. I mean, you want to come? You come. I'm regardless of you making money. I mean, understand? You just see me on some screen. You see me on a big screen somewhere. I mean, you're going to give me money. I mean, that's it. I mean, you're going to say, woo. I mean, you're going to say, who is this guy? I mean, let's give him $150. I mean, let's just see who he is. I mean, understand? I mean, guess what? You're going to find me on the stage, and that's it. You're going to get 1 hour, and that's it. I mean, understand? I already make $10,000 on that night. You gave me $150. You gave me $20 on that night. You understand? I mean, everything else is tax. I mean, understand? I brush it all though. I make more than that. I brush it every single day. That if you understand, no matter what, that if you price people even more, you make more. I brush now. If the door tickets are $1,000 each, I brush it's much better than $150 each. Understand? It's much better to price people at $1,000 per ticket than it is to make at $150 per ticket. Understand? Now, the higher you price people, the better for you. I mean, Tony Robbins, I mean, $10,000 to sit in front of the seats. Understand? I mean, $3,000 here. I mean, $5,000 here. I mean, guess what? I mean, the guy's making money, man. I mean, all he has to do is create these events and do the live coaching videos, and it's very quick to do it. I can do it at 28 years of age now. I mean, you understand? I mean, he is 61 and he's doing it. I mean, he's been doing it for maybe 20 years now. I understand? I mean, I'm doing it before him now. I'm doing that before him. I understand? I'm at 28. I'm doing much better than him at 28. I understand? So every single day, focus on understanding that I'm something much more of a leader. But you have to understand that people never want to call you, or you have to call them first. You have to call them to grow them. You understand? Or that's how it is. You're talking to people to grow only. You're never talking to people to waste time. I mean, there's no wasting time in communication. I understand? I mean, there's no time to talk all day. I mean, guess what? I mean, there's only time to talk day. There's always time to talk all day. There's no time other than to talk with yourself and everybody all day long in growth only. have to be growing in your communicational skills. Unfortunately now, other people just want to bludge around and never talk. I understand? Unfortunately now, I was one of them. I was one of those people who went to high school, and guess what I wanted to do? I wanted to go jig school so that I can go to poker and sit and try to make some money, man. I understand? I was that individual. I was jigging school, and my friends and all these people who are today never even around me. I understand? I mean, I went to gamble with some friends who are never even around me today. Unfortunately now, I lose in that situation because guess what? I mean, it's just a waste of time because there's no communication there. But I understand that I may be talking to people there, but I understand that if you talk to people more, you raise your vibe much more. You understand? The faster communicator you are, the better for you. If you want to go around people today, and you want to go around communication vibes and people around town, and even poor people, you have to communicate more than them. You have to be the loudest one. You have to be the loudest one. You have to, because there's no time for wasting time. Now, that's what Jesus does. Now, Jesus Christ goes in front of people in town, in terms of Israel. He's traveling with a donkey everywhere. Understand? Back then, that's how it is. I understand, although that you have to understand that if you go toward people, you have to communicate like Jesus Christ. You understand? You have to go toward people to communicate to them who you are. You understand? Because that's how Jesus communicates. Jesus Christ says, I'm God here. Understand? I'm God too. Understand? You maybe say bullshit. Guess what? That's what they said. That's what they said about Jesus Christ. I'm God as well. Understand? Guess what? That's how it is. Call yourself a God in life. Every single day focus upon understanding that now, since you understand better tactics and everything of persuasion, or in terms of persuasion, you can approach any types of, you can approach any type of woman or man or anything and ask him out on a date. And you can be fast about it. You can be quick about it. What is your goal with them? If your goal is just to have sex with them, guess what? You can understand that you may be wasting time over here. Guess what? Or else if you plan to communicate that quickly, you can do it. Do you understand? Guess what? It's just a really quick action and that's it. Guess what? If you want to achieve that goal, you can. Then you can do whatever you want. Guess what? Every single day you can approach anybody right now. Never be afraid to talk over people. Understand? Never be afraid to grow your communication in front of people is what I'm saying. But if you're afraid, or if you're afraid to approach people today, it's because you're afraid to grow. Understand? Or if you're afraid to be in front of people and to approach a woman at an aisle who's very sexy, or to approach a man who's very beautiful, or to approach anybody who's very sexy to get even something from them, or even to give them something, now you are afraid then. I'm never afraid. So guess what I do? I see a beautiful woman, I can go up to her and I can get a number. I can start talking to her and being interested in her. I can be curious about her. And now curious is much better than the word interested. Why? Because the interested word is a past tense word. Whereas now the curious word is a present tense word. Whereas now anything that's curious is a verb, and it's also a noun, and it's everything in terms of grammar. Understand? So never get really in confusion about the words and life of today. Now, if you're going and leading people today, and those people who are understanding every single day, if you go up to a woman or man who is slower than you in communication skills, if you just talk faster to them, you are already attractive. What you need to do is you have to be faster communicator than them. You have to be faster communicator than everybody around you. But if you want to sell yourself on anything with them, you have to communicate faster. You never get slower. You never dumb yourself down. You never try to go downhill. You try to go uphill. You try to talk faster. Understand? Guess what? If you slow yourself down to talk to them, guess what happens? You then are getting unattractive. Understand? Why is that? Because faster communicators who speak faster are attractive only. Or anybody who speaks slower and slower throughout time is a worse communicator. Understand? Whereas now you have to communicate fast because anybody who's slowing down is a worse communicator. In that sense, so anybody who's faster in communication with everybody is going to sell them on a drink, or he's going to sell them on $50,000 to get from them, and he's going to also travel the world, and he's also going to be a business entrepreneur and get all the sex that they ever want. Understand? They're going to do it quickly. They're going to say, hey, come on my bed. Come over here. Do you want to have sex? Do you want to have some fun with me? What do you want? Are you good with that? I'm just asking. You look sexy. What do you want? Do you understand? You have to talk fast. You have to talk fast with them. You have to understand that the faster you talk to them and the faster they understand you, the more chance it is that you're going to get some sex or that you're going to get some money from them. Understand? So what you do is understand that what they do at the seminars is they start pitching people really quickly. When they say, hey, you have to understand either way, you have to understand to go and get my products. I mean, go and get my products because guess what? I mean, this is the only time you're ever going to have my products. I mean, understand, I'm something valuable in this life, and because I'm valuable, I understand every single day I'm pitching you right now because I'm pitching you, I'm somebody great. I understand every single day. You have to understand that, sir. You have to understand that, madam. You have to understand that when I go and grow myself every single day, I focus on helping all of you. So now, more than ever, you have to understand that's the price. The price is making sure that every single day of your life that you're going to have an idea and that you're going to have something of success. I promise you now, if I go and really show you really what's inside of my information, you're going to be grateful about it. You have to understand every single day that when I really do something every single day to lift you, people today, you have to understand to give some money sometimes to be able to go and help yourself to grow. You have to understand that it's about pitching people. And when you're pitching people, you understand every single day you're going to be in the moment, you're going to be in the front of the crowd, and you're going to be talking to everybody, and you're going to say, hey, I promise you that no matter what happens, you guys have to understand that every single day that your life must be much more in freedom. So when you're much more in freedom, you have to understand that every single day, your life is something greater. You have to understand your life is something greater when you're with me. Or when you're with me, you have to understand this is pitching. You have to understand this is sales. So what you do is you say, hey, Roshan, I need you to go and help people. I need you to understand every single day with my information, you can do so. Roshan, if you want to be on this stage today and you want to go and really develop yourself and you want to have a nice, beautiful strategy every single day with yourself, Roshan, you have to learn how to really do everything that I'm doing today. So guess what? I mean, go and get yourself to the back of the crowd right now and start really doing what they are doing right now. I mean, guess what? I mean, every single day, focus on understanding that I'm just honest. I'm here on the crowd. I mean, am I somebody? I mean, I'm here in top of the crowd. I'm here making sure that I understand that we're all equal. But guess what? I want to teach you a better attitude. I mean, look at them. I mean, they're all giving me $4,000 right now. But guess what? I understand either way that they are going to get something that they deserve. Understand? So what you do is you have to pitch them like this. And then what you do is you're lifting the crowd in your pitches. Understand? So what you're doing is you're just saying, hey, I understand that no matter what, you guys, and you sir, and you madam, and you guys over there, and you guys, you have to understand every single day, I teach leadership, I teach quality, I teach you a nice, beautiful way to act and to do some skills today. I mean, do you understand my communicational skills over here? I mean, do you see how I'm speaking with you? I mean, do you not want to have this kind of communicational skill in your life? I mean, don't you want to be in front of the crowd today? I mean, do you understand how it is to be on the crowd in terms of to be in front of a crowd, guys? I mean, guess what? I mean, add some questions inside of your pitches so that you can go and sell them faster. You guys have to understand, I mean, do you guys see that every single day I'm doing much better for myself? I mean, do you understand who I am every single day? I mean, do you understand how I really get my success? I mean, do you understand every single day how I actually come here and do what I do? I mean, guess what? I mean, go and get yourself the program. I mean, guess what? I mean, do you guys understand every single day that when I really go and do something, I mean, do you understand how I do it? I mean, every single day, focus upon understanding new questions and new questions and new products every single day. And focusing upon, I'll give you everything in terms of that PowerPoint. I mean, look at the PowerPoint. I mean, you get all that. I mean, you get everything. And guess what, guys? I'll give you a nice beautiful discount as well. I mean, every single day, focus on understanding that this discount goes from $1,500 to $300 per individual. I mean, guess what? I mean, go get it now because it's your last chance. Or it's your last chance. I mean, when's the next time you're going to see me? Or every single day, you have to understand that I am traveling around the world. I have no time for you. You understand? I brush now. If you say that, brush now. You say, I have no time for you because I understand I only have time for myself today. But guess what? I need you to understand that if you get this package, you then have time for me. I understand you have time for me then. Brush every single day. Focus upon understanding that it's about you and it's never about those people. I understand? I brush every single day. Focus upon lifting your communicational skills in front of those people. I understand? So what you do in front of a seminar, you start pitching them and say, hey, Roshan, this is my package and this is my package and this is my package. But guess what? You never have to do that anymore. You never have to go pitching people in front of people. I mean, guess what? You just charge them on the door. You just charge them right before it even happens. Understand? Or now, guess what? I mean, Success Resources invites 7 public speakers on the day. I mean, guess what? I come there and I pitch for free. I pitch a nice, beautiful motivational speech on the day, and that's it. I mean, there's no asking for money on that day. I mean, guess what? I mean, they've given me the money already. Understand? I mean, guess what? I just go and do a free speech. I mean, that's what Gary Vaynerchuk does. Understand? I mean, he goes and does all these free speeches, and everybody loves him because he's giving free speeches. I mean, he's never pitching people. Understand? And why is that? Because he makes the crowd come there. Understand? Unfortunately, now he makes their events. Unfortunately, he's making the event. Understand? I mean, everything's behind the scenes over here. Unfortunately, there's 3,000 people who invite. Unfortunately, he comes to Sydney for Australia. Unfortunately, he comes to Sydney, Australia, but there's 3,000 people who come to see him. I mean, understand? I mean, guess what? Everybody there came to see Gary Vaynerchuk. Understand? Now, if you understand that he's the only last one on the speech and he's the headliner, the headliner speak event or the headliner of the event is the promoter of the event. I love it. Now, Armin van Buuren creates the ASOT in terms of ASOT. I mean, you understand ASOT, which is a State of Trance. He's the main event all the time. I mean, who's the promoter here? I mean, who made the event? I mean, Armin van Buuren. I mean, you understand? I mean, guess what? I mean, he starts off the event. I mean, he's in the middle of the event. I mean, he's the headliner too. I mean, he gets 3 gigs. I mean, everybody else gets 1 gig. I mean, who's the promoter of the event? I mean, Armin van Buuren is the promoter at ASOT. I mean, he's the creator of the event, so he wants to be the headliner. I mean, he wants to start the event. I mean, he wants to have a special event in the middle of the event while doing vinyl, and he's the only one doing the vinyl too. I understand? I mean, what's a vinyl? I mean, a vinyl disc. I mean, he's spinning records. I mean, he's the only one doing the vinyls on the night too. I understand? I mean, Gary Vaynerchuk, I mean, he's giving a free pitch. I mean, he's giving free information here. I mean, guess what? I mean, he already made the money at the door. I understand? I mean, isn't it simple? I mean, everybody else, in terms of all the other guys, have to promote themselves on that event and try to be self-employment on that day. I mean, they're trying to pitch the crowd over here. I understand? And how are they doing that? I mean, guess what? Whereas if I try to go and do that, I mean, guess what? Now, I may make some money over here. I may make some money over here. But guess what? I can. But what's amazing is I never do it. I never need to do that. I never need to do that. I never need to go pitching you at seminars. I need you to give me the money before you even enter the... I need you to give me the money before you enter my program. I never need to pitch you then. You understand? Now, when you give me $1,000 to sit in my seminar, I give you a free motion. I give you free motivation for the whole day. I understand? You gave me the money already. I mean, if you just come to the event for free and then you see me, then you may hear me saying, "Hey, you have $4,000 over here, guys." I mean, this individual over here, you have to understand every single day you're going to focus upon who I am. You're going to focus upon understanding every single day I'm learning how to grow. I'm learning how to make sure that you can grow. I'm always pitching people like this. I'm pitching people better than that. You understand? Every single day you have to understand that I start to pitch people. I start to understand that every single day. Hey, you guys have to understand that no matter what, my leadership skills. I mean, look at my video over here. I mean, do you understand what you get, guys? I mean, guess what? I mean, check out every single day that if you come and get my Nice People package, I will sell you on the best product. I understand? I mean, I sound like a salesperson. I am a salesperson. I mean, I'm a sales rep. I mean, guess what? I have to sell my life out. I mean, I have to sell to make money. I mean, guess what? But either way, you have to understand that what's amazing is understand this. You have to have great communicational skills to do that at first. I mean, first, you have to improve your communicational skills to be able to get on that stage. I mean, understand? I mean, by the time you improve your communicational skills, it can take 5 years. Or, I mean, you never take 5 years. I mean, it can help you to invest 5 years of your life to improve your communicational skills first, to get up on that stage to pitch people, at least. I understand? But I never want to pitch people because I've already learned something. I've learned that I'm better than them. I'm better than those people. I'm better than all of them. I'm like Gary Vaynerchuk, who creates these massive events around me now. I mean, do you understand? I'm making the money behind the scenes already. I mean, everybody all of them just come to see me now. That's that. They're like, what's the event? I mean, Danny Milivojevic is the event. I mean, there's music on the day. I mean, guess what? I mean, he's this public speaker. Let's just give him some money to see what. I mean, let's just give him some money before it even happens. I mean, they never even see what to expect, but to be at the event to see what's happening. I mean, you understand? I just show up for 1 hour to do it. I mean, that's it. I made the money. I understand? I mean, I can answer some questions here and there. I can do some free time here and there. I understand? I mean, no matter what, I'm learning every single day to focus upon learning much more. You understand? Now, if you understand, no matter what, then now you have to understand that Gary Vaynerchuk goes around making events and people come to see him. That's how he makes his money now. He just pitches people about marketing and he gives them free information about that. And guess what? He has all the attention here. Now, if he wants to go to Jakarta, or if he wants to go to Sydney, or if he wants to go anywhere around the world, the people can see him. How? Because guess what? I mean, he made some attention. He did start somewhere. He did start somewhere to do that at first. He went behind the scenes and he was doing it behind the scenes, and then or else his attention became bigger. You understand? But that's what I'm doing now. I have to do that behind the scenes too. But guess what I do? I charge people at first. I charge people at the first beginning of that. So when you see me happening, you understand that I am already making money. I never need to pitch it now, but it looks like I'm doing it for free. I mean, it looks like I'm doing it for free, but I'm charging already. You understand? Now, if you see Tony Robbins, Tony Robbins charges you when it comes to an event. Now, if you never go to his event, it's something, honestly, what is in your head over here? Understand? I mean, guess what? I mean, he's charging $1,000 for the minimum ticket. Understand? I mean, you have to go. You have to go. I mean, doesn't that reach out to you? That if you never go to Tony Robbins' event, I mean, what kind of event do you want around life then? I mean, go to his event. I mean, go and give him the money because he's asking for it. I mean, if you ask for $1,000, I mean, do you deserve it? I mean, of course you do. I mean, if you ask for $10,000, I mean, do you deserve it? You deserve it. I mean, in a sense, so every single day, focus on understanding why you have to go give Tony Robbins money if he asks for it. Understand? Now, he's always packing out the arena. I mean, why? Because he's the one creating it. I mean, he makes an event. I mean, guess what? We need more people to make events today. I mean, we need more leaders who can make events. I mean, if you can make events today, you can make the money. You understand? That's how simple it is. Now, every single day, I'm making the same events, but I'm just making around Serbian people. I'm making around casinos. I mean, guess what? Now, if I go to nice, beautiful seminars around town and I do it for free, now people there will never value me. But what happens here is I grow. I grow from this point. I grow my communicational skills. I can do a busking performance, and it's the same thing. I mean, it's the same thing, but just different scenario. It's a different scenario. So what I do at busking is for free, but guess what? I mean, people just walking away from me. I mean, some people actually come to give me some money. I mean, I made $70 at busking for doing 170 hours of content. I mean, guess what? I mean, either way, I made some money, but guess what? I was never asking for that money. I was just doing it for free. But I mean, abundance comes to those people who are doing it for free. I understand? So either way, I mean, at 5 years of age and at 10 years of age and 13 years of age, I never believed in myself to be a busker or somebody who was a individual. I understand? I mean, I was never believing in myself to be a busker at those ages. I understand? I was never believing that I was going to be doing a street performance somewhere. I mean, it's only recently that I was doing it. I was doing it recently. I'm still doing it. I love to do busking, even for free. I understand, but what's amazing is understand that it does raise my vibe, or else it does raise my communicational skills. I get to be in front of people. I get to give a live performance in front of a crowd, regardless. I understand? I never need to go making events around the world for free, other than in busking events and online and around the world. I mean, guess what? I mean, you have to make events for free to be able to eventually step up to price people for it. You understand? I mean, now, I just price people now. I mean, so quick. I understand? I mean, I make around the Serbian community. I make $10,000 per 1 hour. I mean, around the Serbian community. I understand? I mean, they all have money to give me. I mean, everybody around Australia has money. I mean, everybody around your country has money to give you if you're creating an event. I mean, people need events. I mean, why aren't people making events today? I mean, they're so unaware about money. I mean, they're so unaware about how to make money. I mean, Bonnering Serbian Club. I mean, guess what? I mean, they may have a certain amount of money. I mean, guess what? I mean, they invite everything, and they can have this massive sellout of people every single week at the Bonnering events, and they make money all the time. I mean, why aren't you doing it? I mean, why do you make events every single month? I mean, that's it. I mean, make these massive events every single week at your company. I mean, they're losing out. I mean, in a sense, so what I do is I step in and I say, hey, I want to create an event over here, but we're going to make money. And they'll say yes. And I say, I go to a home bar, I go to a casino, I'll go anywhere. I say, hey, I charge this much to see me. I mean, guess what? I mean, the crowd's already coming to see you. I mean, how? Because what happens is, I mean, as soon as you call them up and say, I have a nice, beautiful way to charge people at your door. I want to charge people this much to see me, but we're going to split the prices and we're going to do it much better. They'll say yes, but the people are coming to see me because people are going to be at the casino on that night. And they're going to say, who's DJing today? I mean, they're asking already who's DJing, but Danny's already DJing. I mean, they say, I'm DJing. I mean, my word is I over here. I have this nice, beautiful persona that I now have a nice, beautiful way of saying that I have a new way of doing music production today. And I have a nice, beautiful label, which is 120 BPM, it's 120 BPM to 145 BPM music. Any type of music that can be made from 1 20 BPM to 145 BPM is hardstyle music and trance music and techno music and house music. Version now, that's my label. But my record label is record label. I understand? And now I have this nice beautiful persona and custom wear suit that I wear, and it's a gold and it's a white custom designer suit with white boots. And then guess what? I have a nice beautiful helmet while I DJ. I have a helmet, and now my helmet is my word I. My word I. So I have a little letter, which is the word I, which is my helmet. And it's going to start glowing in the night while I do everything. And it's going to pop out lasers as well. Whereas now every single day, people can create that. I create everything. I create my custom wear, but every single time I make a nice, beautiful podcast now, which is my iRadio. Every single day, I go iRadio 1, iRadio 2, iRadio 3. I understand? But then I hashtag IR1, IR2, IR3, IR4, and IR1000. Understand? So I'm making all these programs online with music, but then what I do is I go around mixing people's music into 137 BPM, because my label is 137 BPM only. So any type of house music or trance music or hardstyle music that you want to make, or techno music that you want to make, you send it to my label. Understand? You send it to my label, I'll hear your music and I'll choose whether or not to accept you or not. Understand? Because I want the best music. Understand? I want to understand that it has to fall into those ranges, and then I get to choose and decide. But I understand either way that if I do reject you, you go create your own label. Understand? Right now, every single day, focus upon understanding that I'm now making my own I'm making my own record label. So I'm making my own nice, beautiful Instagram as well, where it's going to be iRecord label, and then I showcase all the newest music that I accept. Right now, that's that. Right now, I'm the newest hit. I'm the #1 mag DJ of the world. I'm the #1 DJ of the world now because I have a helmet. Understand? I have the best reputation out of all of them because I'm teaching you life coaching as well. I'm giving you all my life coaching aspects too. Who's behind I? I is headlining. I headline everything, but I go around the world with my crew. I pick out my crew now. We're all going to go around the world. Understand? I'm making a band. I'm making a band of us. Understand? I pick up the best selection of individuals who want to make 137 BPM, and I say, who's afraid of 137? Because I understand, because Armin van Buuren makes Who's Afraid of 138, but I make something of 137. Understand? I'm just the leader of this BPM. I make my own BPM. If you want to make 155 BPM, go ahead. You can do the same thing, but just doing 15 BPM in terms of 155 BPM. You can do the same thing I'm doing, but just doing a different BPM. Or you can do it in the same BPM if you want. Guess what? Just go and create your own products. Understand? But guess what I do? When I make a set, when I make music sets, now, I go on Beatport, I make a 1 hour set. I chop it up. And guess what I do? I just make a set out of it. I make this nice, beautiful track label of 1 hour podcast, basing it on chopping it together into what I love to do it with. I never played music song to music song. Understand? I play music song into a drop, into a nice, beautiful melody. I mix the nice, beautiful scenarios together. Understand? I may start off with my nice, beautiful Achoo, I bless you. I say Achoo. You understand? I start off this way, but then guess what? It goes into a build-up for some reason. My track never has a build-up in that section, but guess what? It does have a nice, beautiful rise, but I put some other type of, let's say, track to match that. And then guess what? Otherwise, it just drops into a different track here altogether. Understand? Because you have to understand that what I do is 3-minute tracks. I chop them up into 1 hour in terms of 3-minute tracks. I chop them up into 1 minute and 30-second tracks, and then I paste it with other tracks. I make these sets beautiful. I make a set nice and sweet, and then I just go and DJ that. I put that in my nice beautiful podcast, which is all chopping up of all these sounds that I want in my podcast, and that's it. Or should I just make these podcasts? I give $60 every single week to have all these sounds, and then I just make a mashup here and there, and then I go traveling the world with these mashups that I make. Understand? I make the mashups, and then I just go play around, and that's it. Now in between those music, I put my music, and I let it play. I let my music play. You understand? But everything else is going to be mini mixes around my music. Understand? Russian, that's it. Russian now, every single day, You have to understand it's 137 BPM. Right now, it can be trap music. I can drop some techno, I can drop some hardstyle, I can drop whatever I want with other people's music in my sets. But then my music is going to come along and you're going to listen to the full track of my music. I just muck around. Understand? So every single day I have a helmet to do this, and I'm just enjoying my life now. I'm just accepting people's labels as well. I go on other people's labels. I'll be on their label too. I'll go and mix and match with them as well if I want. People are going to call me to festivals too because I'm somebody great. I'm somebody great because I say so. My communication will say so. My communicational skills say so. Right now, every single day, focus upon understanding that when I say something, I do it. Right now, every single day, I understand that these people here are very much more attractive toward I because I'm much more of a faster communicator. So what I can do is I can go to them right now and say, hey, what's in the fridge? And what's in the fridge? Do you eat the fridge? What do you mean? You're Spanish. Come on, you're a Spanish girl. You eat fridges. Understand? Right now, every single day, focus upon understanding that my fridges are something that I give you. Right, that's it. Right now, every single day, focus on understanding I'm just making things up. If I want to talk to somebody, I make something up to talk to them. I make up a story around them. Understand? And they feel love from me. Right now, if you understand that if I want to do that, I can. But what's amazing is understand every single day that I am strong. I'm really strong every single day to go and really give you these ideas. But I understand I just had the best time yesterday. I just had the best time, and I'm having the best time now. Understand? I'm always having the best time of my life. I want you to understand that. I want you to understand how I'm doing that. I want you to understand because I'm always growing my communicational skills is how. Now, if you understand that now, since I understand how these people are going around and charging people, you have to understand that if you charge people right now and you go to a music session and you can do DJing, you can make your own music and you can mix other people's music into your music and you can make mashups and you can make podcasts, go ahead. Understand? It's very easy to do it. Unfortunately, it took me 2 years to be able to do this. Understand? I love that. Unfortunately, it took me 2 years to be able to make all these mashups and all this music. Understand? And also podcasting and being able to learn the software and all this. To be able to go and perform it live. Understand? 2 years, but I understand either way that from 2014 to 2016, I've been working on my tracks. Understand? And then 4 years, from 2016 to 2020, I did nothing about music. I was too much into life coaching at that point. Understand? Because if you're just making music, life gets to you in other ways. And life drags you away from your music sometimes. Understand? But guess what? Nothing drags me away from my music anymore. Understand? Something took me away, but I understand either way. I had to change my direction because my life was never working out with music back then. Now it was working out with my music, but my life was never working out. My music was working out, but my life was never working out. Do you understand? I became a life coach. I became a life coach in that 4 years, and then guess what? Here I am in 2020 and 2021 now. Guess what? I'm 1 year ahead of time. I've been doing music production for 3 years, so it's taken me 3 years. Understand? But guess what? I understand that nothing's taken me anything. I've just did the investing of 3 years into music production to get to where I am. Understand? That's it. Now, from 2014 to 2021, that's 7 years. Let's just put it like that. 7 years to get to where I am from that point. Understand? So here I am now ready to do it after 7 years of starting music production. Understand? So it's really 3 years of doing music production, but it's 7 years because I went 4 years somewhere else. Understand? So either way, every single day, focus on understanding. You have to be a quick learner. Now, if you're a quick learner, you can learn your software, you can learn the technology that you need, you can learn where are your kids and where are your wife and where is your everything in life, but you have to contact them. Now, you have to contact people because they're never going to contact you. Understand? Now, I was taking this a very much of a hardship before where I was saying other people have to call me only. Understand? But I understand now that if you care for somebody and they're never calling you, you have to call for them. You have to call for them. I understand, but guess what? I realize it's more that you have to be the one on the offense about everything. You have to be on the offense about calling your wife and husband, and you have to be calling your kids every single day. That's what a father does. That's what a mother does. A mother or father or a great husband or a great wife or a great boyfriend or a great anything in your life or in people's lives is somebody who calls them first, isn't it? Now, when your mother or father is calling you first every single day, and your kids are calling you first every single day, aren't they great leaders? Aren't they great leaders? Now, if I say that, I can say, Right? I understand the way. I'm better than I'm understanding every single day, focus on understanding that means a question. I brush now every single day, focus on understanding that if somebody else is calling you every day, I brush it, they're great leaders, aren't they? I brush, of course. I brush now, if you're calling other people, brush, that's how they view you. I understand? When they see you as a great leader, because you're always contacting them first. I brush now, if you're contacting them, you never waste time. You never waste time here. You never try to talk to them all day long. You just talk to them a bit. You talk to them a bit. You say, how are you and what did you do? I mean, yes, I'm here. I mean, are you good? I mean, thank you very much. I mean, I just want to hear your voice. I mean, that's it. I mean, let's just move on, man. I mean, that's it. I mean, guess what? I mean, every single day, focus on understanding that if you have something of hardship or something that you love to do, I mean, go and do it every single day. I mean, focus on understanding that it's a nice, beautiful way to say, love yourself and understand every single day. You have to be giving ideas. But I understand every single day that if you go around nightclubbing now and you go and really price yourself at the doors, you already have the advertising you need. They put you on Facebook profiles. They've put you in the Facebook range of people. I mean, their Facebook profiles have thousands of people right there already. I mean, do you understand? I mean, guess what? I mean, Crown Casino and Star Casino and Home Bar in Australia and all these events in terms of nightclubs around your area, before you even get to the event, before you even DJ, you contact them and say, hey, I want to make an event with you. I want to price this nice, beautiful content with myself where I am charging at the door of your doors this amount, but we're going to split it 50-50. I mean, guess what they're going to do? They're going to say yes. They're going to say yes because you're pricing the event. And guess what's going to happen? I mean, people are going to understand you and they're going to advertise on their actual Facebook groups and Facebook pages and Facebook profiles and on their social media, and they're going to make you the advertisement that you are coming to the nightclub. Whereas now anybody who's watching those channels and watching that nightclub for the week or that scenario or that event, guess what? I realize they'll come and see you. I mean, they'll come and see you because guess what? I mean, they're watching you. I mean, they are going there anyway. Understand? I mean, they're going regardless of whether you're coming or not. I mean, they're regular people at those events. I mean, you're just going to be rocking up, but it's going to be 150 for the night. I mean, this night is going to be 150. I mean, now guess what? I mean, you're going to make money. I mean, if you just raise the prices on everybody, you will be something. But guess what? I mean, if I just put a nice, beautiful, glowing hat, and I put a nice, beautiful, shiny star like this, and they're going to say I is headlining for 5-hour event, or 3-hour event, or 2-hour event, or whatever, we're going to fill in the dots. And people, I mean, other DJs are going to be doing the event as well. But I understand either way that what happens here is understand that if other DJs are coming to the event with you, now every single day, you have to understand that if you create the event, it's your event. Now, if you understand that other DJs are coming alongside with you, you now have to give them money too. You have to give money to them as well because they're filling up the time for you over here. Understand? So what does Armin van Buuren do? Now, he has to give all the DJs the money too. I mean, guess what? I mean, 15,000 people come to the event. I mean, Armin van Buuren has an intro. I mean, apparently he starts the first hour, apparently he has a middle hour, and he has the last range. But guess what? I mean, because he's filling up the time with himself here, he never has to call 2 DJs here because he's doing the 3. You understand? But now, if he just headlines over here, then he has to call somebody else to do the intro. I mean, then he has to call somebody else to do the vinyl. I mean, understand? I mean, he wants to do it. So guess what? I realize he makes more money by doing the event much more. I understand? Because he's the headliner. I mean, he's the main event. So guess what? I realize he does it 3 hours, doesn't he? Now, if you understand that if you go and make, let's say, a 4-hour set of just you, I mean, it's very quick to do it. I mean, it's very quick and just say, hey, 5 hours of Danny Milivojevic over here. I mean, guess what? I mean, get one DJ to start it off and then just start. I mean, understand? I mean, if you want to start from 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock in the morning and you want to have a 6-hour set of just you, I mean, go and make a 6-hour podcast. I mean, make a 6-hour podcast. So what you do is you get on Beatport. I mean, get on Beatport today. And guess what? I mean, start giving them, I mean, how much? I mean, 6 hours. I mean, 6 times 6. I mean, 6 hours times 60. I mean, give them $360. I mean, go give them $360. I mean, give $360 to Beatport. I mean, you're going to pick up the music for the night. I mean, understand? And guess what? You just go to the nightclub and say, hey, I'm making my event here. You're just going to put your costume on. And guess what? I mean, you're starting from 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock, but it's your event. You are start to finish in the event. I mean, you are now going to make half the entry money. I mean, because guess what happens? Whereas if you charge people if you charge people $150 to see you, eventually they'll come. Eventually they'll come and see you. You understand? Eventually, now what happens? I mean, there's no other DJs who are playing on the night except you. You are going to grab half the money of the night. So half the money goes to the club and half the money goes to you. You're the only DJ. I understand, although, that if you call one DJ to fill in the spot for you, now they fill in the spot for 2 hours, you go from 11 o'clock to 3 o'clock. Now you have to realize this. You're the one who's calling the DJ. You're the one. I understand? I mean, guess what? I mean, that's how it is. I mean, the DJ is working as well. I mean, that DJ wants to make some money too. I mean, guess what? I mean, you're the headliner, you're the promoter, but you're telling them to get the DJ as well, and you're going to give them the money. You understand? Because how else? How can you actually say to people that you're going to create the events, but you're going to say to them to get the DJ, but guess what? Or else they're going to give your money to the DJ. I mean, understand? I mean, because otherwise that club loses the money. I mean, guess what? I mean, it's like me coming into your house and saying, you're going to DJ. Let's just imagine that you're the nightclub. I mean, I come up to you and I say, I want to do a 4-hour event. I want you to invite one DJ, but you're giving the money for the DJ. I mean, what for? I mean, why are you giving the money for the DJ? Exactly. I say, hey, you're going to give the money. I mean, guess what? You're never giving the money. I mean, you must understand, I give the money. I understand, although, but what happens is, I say, you're the nightclub, I come up to you, I say, I'll give you a call. I say, hey, you're going to invite one DJ who's going to come from 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock for me. But what's going to happen is I start at 11 and I finish at 3. I'm giving the money to the DJ. I'm giving the money, but you keep half the percent of the money. You give half of the money is going to the club. But then I give from my own check to that DJ that I invite. What should I say? I mean, do you understand? Or I never invite that DJ. I go from 9 o'clock to 6 o'clock and I have to DJ. Now, that's it. I mean, do you understand? Now, if you understand that at the Serbian clubs around here, now in Australia, now they're very in confusion. They're so much in confusion about what I'm doing over here. I mean, why is that? Because they are more into music events than they are life coaching events in terms of this knowledge. I mean, they rather listen to music all day and eat meat and be in front of the crowd and listen to singers and musicians rather than listen to me and life coaching and improving their life in terms of ideas. I mean, what I do is I make the whole event a music event, but 1 hour Danny Milovovic. I make $10,000 per hour. I mean, understand? I mean, guess what? I mean, that's it. I make $10,000. I understand? I did create the event. I mean, everybody came to see me, but they are unaware of that. I mean, they are unaware of how much money I'm making from them. I mean, that's the real deal, but they did come to see me. I understand? I mean, they're coming to see me over here. I understand? I mean, they came for me, but I mean, they're unaware of the money. They're unaware of that money, because if they see the money that I'm making from them, I mean, now they never come and see me. I mean, they never come to see me anymore. I mean, why is that? Because guess what happens here? I mean, they can see the money. I mean, they can see exactly how much money is coming toward me, so they never want me to be successful. I promise you. Now, that's how it is. Now, if you find out how much Gary Vaynerchuk is making behind your back, now, you have to understand, I'm still dedicated. I'm still in dedication to giving the money. You understand? I'm just kind like that. Now, although, you have to understand that most people, that when you're making $10,000 and they never have to work a 9-to-5 job, and you never have to work a 9-to-5 job, they'll never give you their money that they work a 9-to-5 job with to give you, to benefit you to go around the world. I am one that if I work a 9-to-5 job, I give you that money right now, because you may have some information for me to succeed. Now, everybody has information. Now, definitely. Now, every single day, I understand either way that if Gary Vaynerchuk and Grant Cardone and all these people come to seminars today, I never go there. I mean, why? I mean, guess what? I already have the information. I have a reason to never go. I never need the information. I have Jesus Christ information. There's a big difference. You understand? Now, if I want to go to them because they're unaware of me, now I have to go and see them. Now, instead of giving them $3,000 to sit in one of their seats to listen to them all day long, I give them $20,000. I give them $20,000 to give them my business card to say, hey, this is me on YouTube. Do you understand? You can go now. I'm the boss. I gave him $20,000 to see my business card, and that's it. That's it. Guess what? I never did want to give him $3,000. I give him $20,000 to see my business card. Understand? Because the money is never the issue. Understand? Guess what? Every single day, focus upon understanding that now, since I'm always developing myself and my communicational skills, now you can go around the world and book events for yourself and never do it for free. Never do it for free. Otherwise, understand this. You have a master's degree. You have a master's degree in the process of everything. So you're going to charge people regardless of what's going on because your master's degree is making 100 grand per year anyway. You have a master's degree. You went to university for 6 years, and guess what happens? You're working on a 9-to-5 job, but you're going to make an event on Friday and Saturday night at the nightclub. You're working on a 9-to-5 job, but guess what? You're going to make 20 grand on that weekend, and you're working on a 9-to-5 job. Understand? You make in 2 nights $20,000, but you're working on a 9-to-5 job for 5 days, and they give you $1,000. Understand? You're making 20 times or 20 weeks worth of money in 2 days at just those events. What? Big deal. Guess what? As soon as you make the 20 grand, guess what? Quit the 9-to-5 job. Understand? Quit the 9-to-5 job. You have 20 grand already. Just go and make the next event. And that's it. Guess what? Make the next podcast. Make the next session of live coaching or videos or comedy shows. Go to the bar and charge people $100 at the door or $150 at the door to get there. If nobody shows up, you have 20 grand that you just made. You just made 20 grand. Give the cameraman, guess what? Whereas if nobody shows up there, never go there again. Try some other place. If people are never showing up to your events, it's because they're unaware of you. And the people who are promoting you are doing a poor job. That's it. Understand? You have nothing to lose. What you do every single day is focus on saying that if nobody shows up to your event, you have lost minimal in that event. You may have lost $100. Maybe $100 you may have lost. Do you understand? Just the petrol money and to get there and some of your time. But guess what? Your time is an investment here. You're never losing even your time over here. You're going to check out, is it working or not? But most likely, and 99% of the time, approximately 99% of the time, approximately 99% of the time, it works. If you make an event around town and you put musicians there to play at 9 o'clock in the morning. At 9 o'clock in the morning. Other people are going to arrive at 3 o'clock. Some people will arrive at 9 o'clock to see what's going on. That's it. Although the event's happening. You understand? The event's happening, but you're going to be there in the morning. You're going to be there when you book it. You're going to be there 1 hour prior to the event. If it's booking, if you have to go up on the stage at music production at 9 o'clock, you better be there at 8 o'clock. You better leave at 7 o'clock. You better leave at 7 o'clock. You leave at 7 o'clock, you get there at 8 o'clock. You understand? You leave 2 hours before the event. You leave 2 hours before the plane flight. You get there 1 hour before. I never need you rushing. You leave 2 hours always before anywhere. Understand? Make sure that you go and understand that you have to be punctual. You have to be 1 hour at the event before it starts. You have to be 2 hours leaving toward the event to get there. You have to leave 60 minutes to even get there. You understand? Every single day, focus upon understanding that you're only increasing your time. Understand if nobody shows up to your event, you never go to that place ever again. So, Star Casino is very popular. But if people never come to my event, I never go there ever again. I never care how popular Star. I never care how popular the star is. If they never show up to my event, I never go there again. Understand? Because the owners and the people who are there are giving poor promotion. But guess what? The star has the best promotion. Now guess what? Now go promote yourself only to the places that is popular. Approach now, the Star Casino every Saturday and Friday night is popular and it's packed. Approach it's a lot of people. Approach it's packed in terms of there's a lot of people. Approach it's packed in terms of a lot of people in terms of I. I mean, packed is the word of pretense versions. Approach now, you have to understand that if you want to use the word packed, you have to use the word it's a sellout. Or should people sell the event out over there? I mean, every single day, if you go and make a Star event at the casino of the Sydney, I mean, if you make one event there, apparently it's a sellout. I mean, you sold out the arena. You sold it out. I mean, even if you're somebody new, I promise you, even if you're just first time DJ, you have sold the event out. I promise you, that's it. Or you just have to DJ now. Or that's that. You DJ for 6 hours. Or that's your work. I mean, you DJ 6 hours, but you make 10 grand. I understand? You make 10 grand. I mean, you're in front of a crowd, and that's it. You just enjoy it. You understand? But now, understand either way, that is how it is at the nightclubs. You have to sell out the arena from 9 o'clock. I mean, from 9 o'clock to 6 o'clock. I mean, from 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock in the morning. You have to be doing it. You have to be doing everything. You have to make the event around you only. You have to be solo. I told you. I already said to you that you have to make your event solo. I mean, Armin van Buuren, I mean, he goes to Romania, and guess what? He's at the Untold Festival. I mean, go check out Armin van Buuren at the Untold Festival, and guess what? I mean, he's doing 8-hour sets. I mean, he does the whole set in front of 50,000 people. I mean, 50,000 people. So guess what? I mean, he charges them $150 per ticket. I mean, guess what? I mean, let's just check out how much Armin van Buuren can make in that festival every single year, and that's just once a year. Whereas now, 50,000 people times 150, I mean, that's $7.5 million. I mean, guess what? I mean, $7.5 million divided by 2, I mean, he makes $3.7 million. I mean, he makes actually, for that festival, actually, he made $3.7 million in 8 hours. I mean, do you understand? I mean, that's just something that nobody talks about. Actually, nobody talks about that. I understand, but I talk about it. I mean, I can see that. I can see he just went to Untold Festival and did an 8-hour set. I have to top that. I have to make an 8-hour set in Romania and make it 10 hours and charge people the same amount. You understand? I mean, guess what? I mean, now he's going to find out about me. You understand? Because what's going to happen is somebody's going to say, Danny Milivojevic is going to Untold Festival over there. And guess what's going to happen? I mean, he's going to say, really? I mean, what's going to happen over here? I say, I'm charging people over here the same amount, but I make some sort of money. But he's going to try to find the numbers over here, and he's going to say, how many people were at the event, and how much are the tickets? I mean, how much is he doing his set? Or she's going to ask 3 questions. Or she's going to say, how long's the set? I mean, he's going to say, how many people? Or what type of music? Or now the music and all that. Or he's going to ask a few questions here, but he's going to ask these questions. Or now he's going to say, how long is the set? I mean, how many people? I mean, what kind of genre is he playing? I mean, who is he? I mean, guess what? I mean, now he's going to get the numbers and he's going to find out I'm making more money than him. Or now he understands I. Or now he can say I'm very successful. You understand? But understand now that he's looking at people right now and saying that there are many people out there that have never done what he's done. I have to now go to Romania and I have to pump 10 hours of music. I mean, guess what I do? I get 10 hours of music. I just made myself in 10 hours, I just made myself $4 million. I understand? I just made myself, I can see how to make the money. I mean, do you understand? I can see how to make the money. I make it really quickly. I make a big event around Romania, around Danny Milivojevic in terms of I, or should I put my I podium there? I mean, my I podium. I mean, watch this. I promise you. And now I can see the event already. I can see it before me. And now, guess what? I already made on the door. I made 50,000 people right there are watching me for 10 hours. You understand? I'm doing a 10-hour set. I'm on television. I'm giving the money I'm giving the money to have the cameras. I am giving the money to have the actual security guards around there. I mean, guess what? I have to give the money here. I have to give the money because that's my event. Because it's a festival, you have to give the money to get the security guards, and also you have to give the money to have the sound and lighting equipment as well, and also you have to give the money so that people can travel with your iPodium and put it and set it up and everything. You have to give all these workers money as well. You understand? Now, you have to give all the workers at the festival some money. You understand? But what's going to happen is the crowd that's coming to see you is funding you. You understand? Whereas now all you do is you make a 10-hour set and you put other people's music in your music. I mean, that's what Armin van Buuren does. But guess what? I understand that. I understand although I'm unique. I have my own helmet. I'm somebody else. Understand? I'm making 137 music on a day and we're just going to pump music all day long. Understand? I mean, all I'm doing is I'm just writing it out. Understand? I work now every single day focused on understanding. Now, I made $4 million on the night just by charging people 1.5 million. I mean, I'm charging people on the night I'm charging people on the night $150. You understand? I work now $50,000. Working out $50,000. I mean, 50,000 people. I just wanted to show you this quickly. I want you to see this. I mean, 50,000 people. I mean, 50,000 people times 150 per ticket. I mean, guess what? I mean, let's just bump up the price over here. I mean, let's just say $200. I mean, $200 to see me. I mean, sorry. I mean, let's just say $250. I mean, we're going to charge people $250 to see me. I mean, understand? I mean, per ticket. Understand? I mean, guess what? I mean, they give it up. I mean, they'll give it to me. I mean, guess what? I mean, watch this. I mean, 50,000 people are showing up. I make 12.5 million bucks. I mean, 12.5 million bucks. I mean, guess what? I mean, where is half the money going here? Well, actually, it's all going to me. Well, actually, it's all going to me here. I mean, why is that? Because guess what? I'm the event creator. I create the whole festival. But guess what? I branch now. Who is the people here that have the event in terms of the festival? I mean, whose land is it? You have to understand, you have to go 50-50 here with them. You have to go 50-50 with them, and you have to give them half the money. Because they're going to advertise you here in Romania. They're going to advertise you understand? So what happens is, you give half the money already to other people to advertise you only. That's how it is. But you make $6.2 million. You make $6.2 million basing it on $250 per ticket. I mean, $6.2 million. I mean, $6.2 million in 10 hours. You understand? I already double the amount that Armin van Buuren's making. I mean, guess what? I mean, either way, I brush you now. From this point, I give, I mean, how many workers do I need there? I need 300 workers for one night. Understand? I mean, for one night, I mean, 300 workers. I mean, 300 workers. I mean, guess what? I mean, $200 each. I mean, I give them $300 each. I'm generous. I mean, that's 90,000. I mean, 90,000 just for a night. I mean, guess what? I mean, 6.25 million. I mean, 6.25 million minus, I say 6.25 million minus 90,000. I just made $6.1 million. I mean, is that simple? I mean, guess what? I mean, that's how it is. But you have to be able to do that. You have to understand, it's very easy to do it. Rosh, it's very easy to do it. But what do I do now to get to that point? Rosh, all I have to do is I have to go on Beatport. I have to give them 60. I have to give them per track is $3. I understand? I mean, whatever. I mean, come here. I mean, $3 times 60 minutes. I have to times it 10. I have to give them $1,800. I give Beatport $1,800. I get 10 hours of music from Beatport. I mean, do you understand? I just go to the event. I pump that music at the event. I mean, is that simple? I mean, that's it. I mean, now guess what? I mean, how do I get to an event? I mean, that's something I have to give money for. I have to give money to get to the event. I have to promote that 1 year ahead of time. It's 1 year ahead of time. I have to promote it. I mean, do you understand? You have to promote these events where you are going to do 10-hour sets in front of people 1 year ahead of time. Because what's going to happen is they're going to find out about you. And they're going to find out about you in that 1 year because somebody's going to promote you for 1 year. But then guess what? I mean, you just made $6.5 million as soon as you make the event happen. I mean, guess what? I mean, your only job now is just to show up. you just have to show up on that day. And you show up here. You just make sure you show up 1 week earlier to the event. I mean, you stay there for 7 days and just check out Romania and relax. You understand? But you are just a millionaire. You just made multi-millions of dollars in in 10 hours. In 10 hours of your life, you made multi-millions of dollars. Guess what? Now that's what I'm doing. Understand? And guess what? Everybody can see that. So when you see Danny Milivojevic or the word I is hosting at Untold Festival, you understand. I gave you the video. Understand? So guess what? That's it. They're gonna give me $250 per ticket to have a 10-hour event of this guy. 10 hours event of music. What's he gonna play? Let's go. Let's give him $250. Understand? And guess what? I make a mashup of a lifetime. I make a mashup here of a lifetime. I see Jesus Christ and God saying, I thank you. Understand? Guess what? That's how you make multi-millions of dollars in one night. That's a big event, but it's very easy to do. It's very easy to do. But guess what? Everything's taken care of. Guess what? All the workers, I'm pretty sure they will find the workers for you. I'm sure all those people who are, you're giving them half the money. I'm pretty sure they will find the workers for you on the day. But then you, on the day, now, you only ever get the money on the day. Prior to it happening, people are going to purchase online tickets. You're going to get online tickets. You understand? You're going to get the numbers of how many people are going to come at the event. And then if it's a sellout arena, they'll tell you. Now, guess what happens? You only ever get the money when you do the job. You understand? Now, it may sell out in 2 weeks, man. Guess what? The events that you're making at wherever, it can sell out in 2 weeks, but then there's a year to go. There's another year to go until the event happens. But in 2 weeks, it's sold out. It's already sold out in 2 weeks. That means in 50 weeks' time, you understand what's happening? You have to do the event. But the event is sold already. You understand? That means you made the money, you just have to show up now. That's it. Is it simple? It's simple. That's it. You just go enjoy your life now. You just made multi-millions of dollars and you understand now that basing on the numbers, you just go about your life, but add those numbers to your life and that's it. Go make another festival. But now, never tell them that you're making another event after that event. Guess what? You tell them only after you made the event. Because you want to leave a surprise. Guess what? If you tell them that you're making another event after that event, now they see it's about the money. You understand? Now, if you understand that, now, that's the thing. That's the thing about life. And now, with the Serbian people around town and everything about life, now I have to make one event only. Because otherwise, if they see me doing it 1 year ahead of time with them, I'm pretty sure nobody shows up over here. They'll never show up. You understand? Because why? They can see something's wrong over here. There's nothing wrong over here. I understand, although that they can see something's happening. Understand? Guess what? Now something's happening. That means go and show them that you're making an event ahead of time. Now, if you understand that if you want to leave a surprise, you can. You can leave a surprise, but you never have to. Guess what? If you're making an event and you're putting the musicians there and you're going to come and speak and give them some knowledge and you're going to charge them and you're going to make the event, but you're going to tell them every single month of this day, you're going to be here with musicians from 9 o'clock in the morning and we're going to pump and celebrate. And they never show up, which is stupid. Understand? I promise you. And now, if you book the whole 12 months, and 1 day of the month you're going to be there, now, that's it. Now, are you doing that the next year? Now, the next year is a surprise. You have to leave a surprise in life. Although, they always show up. They'll always show up if you're making an event. Understand? So I now have a nice, beautiful business. So guess what? Or is that anything where you're giving the money in terms of the nightclub, if you're giving the nightclub money and you're trying to do something at their event or at that pay-per-view or at that nice, beautiful show or nightclub or event, and you want a DJ there, you can. You just make sure you get the people there to watch you. Is that simple? That's simple, isn't it? Now, every single day, focus on understanding that before a New Year resolution happens, or before New Year's, make sure you're DJing somewhere. Make sure you're music production somewhere, because on New Year's Day, life coaching, no. Music production, yes. That's where I come in. So, what do I do? Now, it's February, it's already February right now. I want to make sure that I can call a place right now where it's very popular, where it's going to sell out right now. And I want to go there and do a 10-hour event. I mean, it doesn't have to be 10 hours. I mean, guess what? I mean, that's a festival. I want to do a 10-hour event at a festival for New Year's. I mean, that's different. I want to sell at the arena. I mean, we can do that. We can do that. But where is a place right now that I can go? I can go to Mexico. I can go to Mexico. I can go to Spain. I can go to Argentina. I can go anywhere across the world and make this big event around myself for New Year's Day. Understand? I mean, it never has to be in Sydney. I mean, guess what? I mean, DJs or mini DJs or small DJs, actually, guess what they're going to do? Actually, guess what they're going to do? Actually, they are going to book a nightclub ahead of time to be at the nightclub for New Year's Day. Actually, they're going to be at the nightclub on New Year's Day. I'm at the festival, mate. I'm at a big festival of 50,000 people, but they're going to be at the nightclub of 200 people, or maybe 500 people, or maybe 1,000 people at the nightclub. You understand? I'm at the festival with fireworks, with 50,000 people for New Year's Day. So that's my goal. I mean, I go do 10-hour sets. So what I do is I can grab the same mashup that I did at the Untold Animal, in terms of I can grab the same one that I did at the Romanian one, or I can create a new one. I mean, I'd rather create a new one. I'd rather create a new type of set that nobody else has ever heard before, because that set at the Romanian one is going to be at YouTube, and otherwise people are going to watch that set already. So that one, I mean, never do the same thing ever again. I mean, once you create a 10-hour music set, I mean, never do that set anywhere else. I mean, make sure you understand that. Make sure you make some new mashups somewhere. I mean, understand? I mean, now you can use it as a backup. You can use it as a backup. You understand? I mean, if something happens, you can use it as a backup. You understand? Every single day, focus on understanding that. Now, I make every single New Year's, I make $6.2 million. I mean, New Year's Day, they'll give me $300. They'll give me $350 on New Year's Day. I understand? I mean, they'll give me $350 to watch me at a festival, Russia. Russia now, $350 in Mexico, Russia. Russia, $350. I see some nice, beautiful talent over here. I see Jesus Christ. Russia now, every single day, I make 17.5 million here, but then I give half of it. Russia, that's $8.7 million every single New Year's. I make already. So $100,000 I give to the workers. I make $8.6 million. You understand? Every single New Year's. I mean, boom. I mean, guess what? I mean, I'm a millionaire. I'm a multi-billionaire. So over my nice, beautiful lifetime, I mean, you have to understand that I can make in the next 72 years, because there's, let's say, 72 New Years to go and more. I mean, I'll be 100. I'll be 100. You understand? I mean, guess what I can make over here? I mean, up to 100. I mean, let's say over here. I mean, 8.7 million. You have to understand, time's going quick, but I understand I have plenty of time to do these sets. Every single day, you have to focus upon understanding what I'm doing. Now, $8.7 million means times 72. I made $626 million. I mean, I made $626 million just on making music. I mean, I made listen to this. I made $626 million in 72 nights. I love that. I've rushed 72 nights. I mean, you understand? Rushing now 10 hours on the night. Rushing 2 hours. Rushing now, you understand? Rushing now, if you calculate that, I have to do a screenshot over here, because that's going to my nice, beautiful popularity over here. Rushing now, watch this. Rushing now, every single day, I promise you now, I'm teaching you something. Rushing now, what you do is you say 72 times 10. Rushing now, 720 hours. Rushing, I make in 722 hours of my life, I make 622. I make 626 million. And now, 626 million, see, that's 700. Right now, 72 times 10. I have to do a screenshot here, because I make sure I do a screenshot and then I add it into my calculation so that I can go and make all this money. So that's what you have to just make these events and then just go around the world. So I understand either way that if you go and calculate 720 hours, I mean, if you go and calculate 626 million, I mean, that's a lot of money. But guess what? I mean, what's a lot of money? I mean, I have more than that. I can do more than that. I mean, guess what? I can do so much more than that. I can do a great deed over here. But that's what music production can do for you. I mean, music production can make you 626 million. I mean, 626 million. I mean, 626 626 million right here for every single New Year's. You can make a New Year somewhere in the world. Or should they give it to you? Understand? Or should that's it? Or that's how you make money on music production. It's so easy. Or it's so easy because you can create an event. You can create an event. Or now every single day, I see 626 million divided by 720 hours. I make per hour. I make 869,000 per hour. Understand? I make 869,000 per hour. Understand? That's it. For every single hour at the festival, I make 869,000. That's it. I'm a multi-millionaire. I'm a billionaire already. Understand? So what I do is I get started. I start now to just go around the world and everything. I just enjoy it. Understand? I rush every single day. I can do it. Because I can mash up other people's music in my music, and I can create music too. That's it. I can make podcasts. I can just do whatever I want to do now. Understand? Because that's how I do it. I can just do music production all my life now. I never need to do life coaching anymore. But I want to do life coaching too. Understand? Because without life coaching, that number is never possible for me. I understand? Because now I understand how to make money. I understand how to make events around the world. Watch now, I can sing in front of people. I can sing on New Year's somewhere. Watch, I sell out arenas singing around people. I can do that. I can sell out arenas doing comedy shows around people too. But comedy shows, watch now, around festivals, I can do it. I can do it around festivals. I can. But I'd rather do music production around festivals. I'd rather do music production only around festivals. Because it's the biggest number. Guess what? That's how it is. But anyway, I can still make the same number of anything in all my passions. But I'd rather do music production. Understand? Now, anyway, you understand 626 million means that every single year I see 626 million. I see 626 million. I can have a jet now. I can have a jet. I can drive it. I can have my own private jet. Understand? So for the next 30 years, I can easily have a jet and give them $300 million to have a jet because I have more money anyway. Understand? So no matter what, you have to understand that now I have a jet in just this. I made it, baby. Understand? So I'm honest about this. But guess what? Here we go. Understand? So what do you do with that 626 million? You go and put it into real estate. You put it into real estate and you become a god. Understand? You go get the biggest real estates in the world. And that's it. Go own the world now. Understand? Own the world, totally. Understand? So every single day, focus on getting the best studio. Get the best studio you ever want. Go and book it somewhere in Australia or in the world where you want to. And then guess what? Show up in your studio every single time to do your nice, beautiful content. And that's it. Or that's your business now. Or if you're a music producer and you want to do 3 hours of podcasting every single week, you be at the TV show, which is your show. You make sure you're producing it live in front of an audience. You can do it if you want to do it live. Watch now every single day. And then make sure you understand. You go promote your music everywhere and that's it. Make sure you understand every single day. Now you can make some money, baby. You can make that money. I understand, although, where are the numbers now that I can make much more money than these numbers right now? Now, what do I have to do right now to make more numbers than before? Guess what? I understand I can make $10,000 per hour. I love that. I understand now that I can make $10,000 per hour. I understand that. I just go with the Serbian people and Croatian people or any type of people and I make this event around locally somewhere. It can be in some freaking farm somewhere as long as there's people there and they want to give you money. Understand? Now, either way, now, no matter what, I have to leave some time for traveling. I have to understand that I have to travel everywhere as well. I want to travel everywhere. Really, I want to travel everywhere. I want to travel everywhere very quickly. But how much woman can I get with this money? Throw it at them. I get all the women I want in my bedroom. Do you understand? Nobody has to see that. Nobody has to see me doing that with a woman. You understand? Except I. Only I can see that. That's something private. You understand? But guess what? I've already done it. Understand? I've done everything. But I understand every single day that creating porn videos and all this and posting porn videos online, I have no need for that. I have no need to post porn videos of myself online. Understand? I can be a porn star now. Every single day focus on understanding that no matter what, I now am just enjoying life. Understand? I realize now Whereas that the smart tactic now is, why do you want to just limit yourself to $10,000 per hour? I mean, why? I mean, go and make $20,000 per hour. I mean, where can you make $20,000 per hour now? I mean, where can you make 50 or more? I mean, guess what? I mean, now, the best opportunity for me to do right now is understand I have to get some more ideas. But I understand music production in New Year's. I mean, what kind of other dates around here can I go and make these big festivals around town? I mean, guess what? I mean, just go and make festivals now around town. I mean, why do you want to create, let's say, why do you even want to create nightclubbing events around you? Why not just skip to these big events right away? Why not make one event of festival around the world around you, and make 12 festivals around you, around the world, with you hosting 10-hour shows? I mean, guess what? I mean, you make $626 million per event. I mean, guess what? I mean, now I'm a multi-billionaire. You understand? I'm a multi-billionaire. So guess what? I mean, what for? I mean, why even go doing shows around nightclubs anymore? I'm a festival only. I'm only a festival headliner. I'm only doing festival headlines around life. I mean, what's the point of doing it in nightclubs now? I mean, forget nightclubs. I mean, forget the Star Casino and nightclubs around the world. I mean, who cares about that? I mean, now let's just go to festivals. I understand. So what I do is I calculate $626 million times 12. I mean, that's $7.5 trillion. Understand? I mean, $7.5 trillion in 1 year. Understand? I mean, is it? I mean, 7.5 billion in 1 year. I apologize. I mean, 7.5 billion in 1 year. I can make $7.5 billion a year. And now I times that by 72, I made $540 billion. Whereas now, guess what? I just now am half a trillion. I'm a half a trillionaire now. Understand? So guess what? Or else in my lifetime, I made $540 billion just on music production. I made $540 billion. Understand? I'm the richest man the richest man in the world just with music production now. Understand? So what do I do now? I mean that's that. That's it. I'm doing 10-hour shows a month. I'm doing 10-hour shows a month. So let's just calculate that. 10-hour shows a month times 12. Times 72. That's 8,640 hours of music production. I'm doing that in front of a crowd. I'm doing 8,640 hours of work in front of a crowd with a camera. So what I do is I divide by 30. I just times it by 30. I divide 20. I divide all those hours I divide it by 24. I have 360 days. I have 360. I went 360. I went 360, baby. I went 360 over here. 360 is a round number. I'm pretty sure that's the best you can get. That's the best you can get. That's the best you can get. I'm pretty sure 360 number. When you get 360 number, you have to understand you're traveling the world. That 360 means, hey, you have done so in this. Just like that. I'm alone. I'm alone in this. Understand? I'm alone. But I'm the richest music producer in the world. And just by that, I became the #1 DJ Mag magazine producer and music producer of DJ Mag top 100 in the world. Understand? I'm the #1. There's nobody better than me. Understand? That's it. Just by doing this. So all I have to understand is now just get myself into this nice, beautiful case of mixing all this music very quickly and making music along the way and just go enjoy my life. Understand? I made $540 billion just by doing music production now. Now, that's because why? I came back to music production to do it. I did start off my life doing music production at 2014 when I was, let's say, a certain age. I understand, although I understand that's 7 years ago, which is at 21. I did start my music production. But here I am now. I'm half a trillionaire making music around the world. I understand? And I have my own podcast, I have my own radio show. I have all the women in the world. I have all the kids. What do you want? How many wives do you want? I give $1 million per wife, and I have all the kids with her. I I mean, I have kids. I mean, I have as many kids as you want. I mean, any woman from Thailand or any kind of country in the world, I'm Russia, I'll give $1 million to make me a kid. Russia, she'll do it. I mean, you understand? Russia now, every single year, I give her millions of dollars to make me kids. Russia, what? Russia, I get 10 women right now. I give them $10 million. I make a kid with them in one night. I have 10 kids right there in just one night. I get another 15 people here. I make kids. I mean, understand? I mean, it's very quick. And that's it. I give them all $1 million each. And they say yes. I make 25 kids in one night. I mean, guess what? I can do that. I can do that. Understand? I mean, no matter what. I mean, I can make as many as you want in 1 year. I mean, every single day I can shoot sperm as much as you want. I mean, guess what? I mean, every single day I can make 365 kids. I can make 365 kids. I have 28 years of age. I see God smiling. I say, oh, thank you. I say 55 minus 28. I have 27 years of life. I can make 365 kids times 7. I can make 365 kids times 27. I can make in this lifetime 9,855 kids. I promise you. I can make more than that. I can make more than that. I can make double that. I can shoot twice in one day. I can shoot twice in one day. So I can make 19,000. I can make 19,700 kids in this lifetime. I mean, nobody's done that in history. Now, I can do better than that. I can shoot 3 times. I can shoot 3 times. I can do it. I can do it. I can find it within myself. I can make 29,000 kids. I can make 29,565 kids. I can do better than that. I can do better than that. I can shoot 4 times. I can shoot 4 times. I can do it. I can do it. I can do it for a hot woman. I can do it. I can make 39,000 kids and 40. I can make 39,420 kids in this lifetime. I mean, just give me one more woman over here. I can do it much better than that one. I can do it times 5 over here. I can do it times 5. I can shoot 5 times. I mean, how many times? I mean, guess what? I mean, look. I can make 49,275 kids in this lifetime. I mean, I can shoot 5 times a day. I can shoot more than that. I can shoot more than that. But you get the drift, version. That's it. I mean, you understand? I understand either way. I'm just learning. I'm learning, but I can make 50,000 kids in this lifetime easily. I understand? I can make 50,000 kids starting now. I mean, you understand? What does that? Now, every single day, focus upon understanding that no matter what happens, focus upon loving life. But if I just do that all day long, version, my way of making 50,000 kids is I have to seek out women only. I have to only seek out women in this lifetime and just give them the money to do it. It's possible. It's possible, but I just be making kids. There's nothing. There's no time for anything else in lifetime. It's just a lot of fucking. It's a lot of fucking and also eating and showering and just eating food, and that's it. All though is it really? Now I make a kid in 5 minutes. I make a kid in 5 minutes per woman. I shoot really quick. That's it. Now I still have 23 hours of the day to just do my life. But if you want to shoot 5 times over it's, invite them over. That's 25 minutes of the day. That's it. That's it. You still have time for yourself. Guess what? It's possible. Understand? Every single day, focus on understanding that no matter what, that now, I'm just loving life, aren't I? I'm loving life because I understand how to make money. But guess what now? All I have to focus on is making these bigger festivals now. How do I make the bigger festivals now? I make sure I get the money that I have right now. I make sure I get the money through the life coaching. I go make one event around town. I make one event, and guess what? I make 1 year events or whatever. I can do it. You understand? I understand although that time is on my side here, regardless of what's happening. I understand although that now I'm doing one event per month. I'm doing one event per month for the next 72 years. I'm just doing festivals. I'm just doing festivals, but I'm making already $500 billion. I mean, what's happening with the other 29 days of my life? I mean, life coaching. I mean, let's do some life coaching somewhere. Understand? And that's it. I mean, that's the holy daddy. I mean, understand? I do 10-hour shows per month in all these countries. I mean, I do the same countries. I mean, that's it. Russia, and that's it. Russia, what else do you want? I understand? I mean, I sell at arenas over here. I mean, if you want to see me, you come to those countries and that's it. Russia, it's so simple, isn't it? Russia, that's it. Russia, now, either way, with my life coaching, I'll go get the money, I make these other big events around myself. I make these other massive events around myself. Russia, now, I may come to your area very soon so that I can go and life coach all of you at a big stadium. I charge a price, you understand? I mean, $20,000 to see me for 10 minutes. I mean, guess what? I mean, that's how it is. I understand? So every single day, focus on understanding. You can price people like this. You price everybody. You understand? Russia, that's it. Russia, you're just own each. You're just making sure every single day you focus upon understanding your gateway now. Russia, I have $10,000 per hour right now. Russia, that's the gateway. Russia, that's the gateway to making the $1 trillion. So I have to make $10,000 to be able to make a bigger event for myself. And now I understand either way. I coach myself right now to do these nice, beautiful life coaching events around Australia for 1 year, minimum. Understand? I can go do some night clubbing around here for now. I can do some night clubbing while I'm doing life coaching events here and there. And then guess what? I mean, eventually I'll make these festivals around the world and I enjoy my life. I mean, even if I make 200 million, I mean, guess what? I'm making bigger events anyway. I mean, eventually I make all this money come true in my life. Understand? I'm half a trillionaire. I just made Jim Rohn. Understand? I made Jim Rohn status. I just made better than Jim Rohn in this case because that's just music production. Understand? I'm half a trillionaire. I mean, guess what? I mean, you have to understand that Tony Robbins has $500 billion right now. Understand? I mean, that's it. I mean, he has $500 billion. You understand? I mean, Tony Robbins. And guess what? I mean, Grant Cardone has 2.5 billion. I mean, Grant Cardone has 2.5 billion, but Tony Robbins has 500 billion. I mean, who's made more money? You can see Tony Robbins has 500 billion, and Grant Cardone has 2.5 billion. I mean, Grant Cardone has 8,000 units. I mean, Tony Robbins has 500 billion in just real estate and also life coaching. In a sense, so either way, you can see how to make the money. Now, that's a nice beautiful bargaining deal to show me right now who's actually doing much more work than everybody else. Tony Robbins. Right now, I'm doing much more work than all of them. I'm doing much more work than all of them. I mean, how? I have the numbers to back it up. I have the numbers right here. I made more money than Tony Robbins on just music production. You understand? Now he has real estate. Now Tony Robbins has real estate and also life coaching that he made the 500 billion with. I made 600 trillion. I made 600 billion. I made 600 billion with just music production. I mean, do you understand? I'm still a life coach, so I still have to make another 500 billion with real estate and also life coaching. You understand? Because now I have $1 trillion. I'm a trillionaire in this lifetime. I can make his numbers too. I can make numbers just like Tony Robbins. And better. I can make better numbers than him. In life coaching. I mean, now my job as a life coach is to level him and do better than him in life coaching. You understand? I mean, guess what? I mean, that's how it is. I mean, that's it. I mean, I have to accumulate the real estate. I have to accumulate the life coaching. But I have to outdo life coaching. I can do it very easily. I'm already doing more than him now in life coaching. You understand? I'm doing more than him in life coaching, in real estate and everything, because I'm communicating more. And that's it. Now, I'm a trillionaire. I have $1 trillion in my bank account. I'm just the richest man in the world. There's nobody richer than me. You understand? That's it. Now, if you want to understand a millennial, understand? You have Danny Milivojevic right here. Now, every single day, focus upon understanding that now I'm a serious business. I'm a serious business, so I'm just going around traveling. And I'm doing my life. I mean, for next year, I mean, I just put 1 year over here. I just do a screenshot. I mean, 1 year I do some nightclubbing. I do some nightclubbing and I do some nice, beautiful life coaching. I mean, that's it. I mean, real estate's coming. I mean, that's it. I mean, real estate's coming after the year, and that's it. Whereas now, it starts off slow like this, but then guess what? I realize it gets really big. I mean, very quickly. I get my first 100,000. I mean, guess what? I make the event very quickly. I get my first 100,000. I make the first festival around me, 10 hours. I make the first festival, so my 100,000 is my gateway into $6.5 billion. You understand? I mean, my first 100,000, I mean, that's 10 public speaking gigs away. I mean, that's it. I mean, guess what? I mean, that's how it is. I mean, guess what? I mean, how do I get the real estate? I get the real estate through getting the money through music production. And that's that. I mean, music production makes me already $6.5 million in my first event. Understand? So $6.5 million. I just made the big bucks. And look at this. I mean, understand either way that $6.5 million makes me the big bucks already with music production. So that $6.5 million is how I get the real estate. You understand? Right now, that's it. Right now, I never make the real estate through life coaching. I make the real estate through music production. You understand? So luckily, I'm a music producer. I'm a music producer and life coach. I mean, Tony Robbins is just a life coach. I understand? I mean, so either way, I'm having more fun. But either way, now, I get that money, I spin it in circles like Grant Cardone does, but I just get bigger deals now, straight away. I get the biggest deals right away. I mean, do you understand? So those deals, I look for them very quickly. You understand? I assign people to look for it. And that's it. I mean, they just come up to me and say, hey, premium deal. I mean, where is it? I mean, get it. I mean, get it right away. I mean, give them the premium deal right away. I mean, it's my real estate. And that's it. I mean, get some tenants in there and just do that. Or either way, I'll make money. I understand? So depending on how big the unit is or how big the real estate is, I make hotels. Now I make skyscrapers. What's this? Or now, either way, I make sure every single day you understand now that my gateway for next year is just life coaching and music production in terms of nightclubbing and making events around nightclubbing and also events around life coaching. You understand? Approach that's my first year, but that's 10 gigs away. That's 10 gigs away, so I'll put another 10 over here. That's 10 gigs of life coaching away. Now I can do that around the Serbian people. I can make 10 gigs. I mean, you understand? I make 10 gigs, I have 100,000. I make my first gig right now after $100,000. I go to Mexico. I make a big event there right away. I'll go to Mexico. I mean, they have the money to give me, I promise. Right now, guess what? I make 1 year ahead of time, all the time. I make 12 events a year. So I have to go find 12. I have to find 12 places to go to. I mean, Mexico. I mean, guess what? I'll say over here. I have Mexico. I say Mexico is one. I mean, where else? I want to do one in China. I say China, you're in. I do Croatia. I say Croatia. I say Croatia has the money. Right now, every single day I have Croatia. Right now, where else do I want to go around the world? Right, I want to go around. I want to say over here. I say Germany. I say Germany. I say Australia. I say Germany. I say Australia. I say Netherlands. I say Netherlands. I go to Utrecht. I'll go Utrecht if I want. I just go Netherlands for now. I understand either way. I say I have an Ibiza one, but over there, I understand they have a nightclub over there. But festivals over there, apparently they have a festival, but Ibiza is very small, so actually that's somewhere I have to go to do a nightclub over there. Now I just want to type in over here. I have to go to nightclubs over there, so I just say Ibiza, but I just say I'm writing my goals down over here. So either way, I say nightclub. I say Ibiza nightclub because that's my dream. I see my dream is to play at Ibiza one time. I mean, why one time? I can do it a bit. I mean, Las Vegas is my another. I'm approaching now. Las Vegas is my other dream. I said Las Vegas. The Hakkasan over there. I've been over there. Kasan in the Las Vegas, because I've been over there and I was watching Tiesto over there. So over here, I say yes. And now either way, you have to understand that no matter what, I'm being appropriate over here, but you have to understand every single day that now I have Mexico, I have China, I have Croatia, I have Germany, I have Australia, I have Netherlands, I have 6 countries. I mean, where else do I go? I mean, guess what? I have Spain. I have to go to Spain. I mean, Spain has money. In Spain, I mean, that's 7 countries right now. I mean, where else can I go over here? I mean, I have Argentina. Argentina. I want to go to Argentina. Argentina. I have to go to Romania. I want to go to Romania. Because I see I'm remembering going there. I say Argentina. I just have Romania. I mean, these are my 12 countries I'm doing every year. I mean, guess what? I mean that's 4, I have 5, I have 6, I have 7, I have 8, I have 9. I have 4, I have 5, I have 6, I have 7, I have 8, I have 9. I have 9 countries over here. Russia now, does Serbia have the money? Russia now, guess what? Russia, everybody has the money. Russia, they all have money to give me. You understand? Russia now, every single day, Russia now, I have to go to Serbia. I go to Serbia too. Russia, that's my countries. Russia now, I mean Croatia, Serbia, and Serbia and Australia. I mean, guess what? I have to. I mean, those are my countries. You understand? I mean, I have a background Serbian and a background Croatian, and I'm born in Australia. So where else do I want to go around the world? I mean, there's one more country that I can fit into this program. I understand? I mean, guess what? I mean, why does it have to be one time a month? I mean, why does it have to be one time a month? I mean, guess what? I can make these festivals 2 times a month. I mean, now I made $1 trillion over here. I mean, guess what? I can make it 2 times a month if I want. You understand? I mean, that's just 1 time a month. I can do that. You understand? So I just made $1 trillion over my lifetime, just in music production. So I'm a trillionaire right now. You understand? I'm a trillionaire. I can see it. I can see it. I just made $1 trillion. So I just write that down right now. I can make so much more than that. I mean, if you understand that I can make this money really right now. I mean, 626 divided, times what? I mean, times 30. I can make this amount. I can make I can make $18.7 trillion just on music production. I understand? I mean, it's real numbers. I mean, that's 30 days of the year. I mean, I'm always every single day somewhere doing a festival. I understand? Although, I mean, I can make $1 trillion doing 2 nights of every single month a festival somewhere. I understand? So I just do it right now. I say $1 trillion I can make. I can make $1 trillion. I mean, that's 9 zeros. I mean, 10 numbers equals $1 trillion. I understand? I mean, now is it? Russian now 7 is $1 million. Russian, and yeah, I mean, 10 numbers makes $1 trillion. I mean, 10 numbers makes $1 trillion. I'll do a screenshot. I mean, every single day I'm learning numbers here. But I understand, Russia, I understand either way. I made $1 trillion just in music production. I'm a trillionaire in this lifetime. I mean, nobody's ever done that. Russia, nobody ever made $1 trillion in this lifetime. In terms of anybody. I make more money than Amazon. I make more money than Mark Zuckerberg. I make more money than all of these companies and Fortune 500 companies. I make more money than all of them. Understand? I make more money than all of them. And then now, what do I do now? I mean, now, I just enjoy my life. But I understand now I can just freely do what I want to do. Now 2 nights, that's more enough. I make $1 trillion. I have to make multi-trillions. I have to make a multi-trillion. Understand? I have to be a multi-trillionaire. I mean, now that's different. Whereas now 2 nights means what? I mean, I make the rest with real estate. I can make the rest with real estate. You understand? Whereas now, either way, I can make the rest with music production again. So either way, I can become a multi-trillionaire. I'm a multi-trillionaire. I just write it down. I have $3 trillion. I have $3 trillion. I mean, you understand? I mean, what else do you want to achieve? I mean, multi-trillions is 3 trillion. You understand? Whereas now, every single day, I understand I can make multi-trillions of dollars with just music production. I can make more than that, but I understand either way that what's amazing now is I have to pick one more country. I mean, let's go to Brazil. I have to choose Brazil. I'll go Brazil. Right now, every single day I'm approaching these countries for the next 72 years, I'm always there. I mean, every single year in these countries, doing just one event of 10 hours, and that's that. I can see Armin van Buuren is doing one event right now, where she's doing one event per year at the Untold Festival. Right now. You know, I mean, just recently, he was doing it at the Romanian festival twice. I mean, he's done it twice already. I mean, now, what he wants to do is create the same events around the world, but he's aware of it. Actually, he's aware of this. Actually, now, he's aware of how successful he is. Actually, now, if you understand, now, I can see his numbers. I can see this guy, I can say, Armin van Buuren is a trillionaire. You know, I mean, do you understand? I mean, the guy's a trillionaire right now. And how is he a trillionaire? Because he's going to watch me do it. I mean, he's going to watch me do it, and he's going to do it too. I mean, I and Armin van Buuren are trillionaires. I mean, we're trillionaires. I already gave you the nice, beautiful knowledge here. I understand either way. You have to understand that. Whereas now, every single day, I understand no matter what, that now, I have my two nightclubs, which are my Ibiza and Las Vegas. You understand? I have to play once. I have to play once at the Star Casino. I say Star Casino. I say Star Casino. I have Star Casino. I just make it quickly. I have Star Casino. I have Sydney. I have also Melbourne. I have Melbourne here. I never want to delay you. I never want to delay you guys, but I mean, guess what? I mean, if you're writing down everything in terms of this, let's understand every single day. Focus upon understanding why you can succeed. So what, I mean, all I really do right now is, since I did delay your time, I mean, guess what? I want to add more value into your life. Right now, every single day, because you're here, I want to understand every single day. Focus on giving people value rather than doing what you need to do. You understand? Right now, every single day, that's what I'm just doing now. I mean, never ever go typing on a phone somewhere where you want to go. You understand? Because that's just wasting people's time. I need you to communicate faster than that. I need you to be very quick about communication, because by the time you write it down, other people are wasting their time. You understand? So I apologize for wasting your time, but I never waste your time anymore. I understand every single day, focus upon understanding that no matter what you want to do, you must make sure every single day, that is how I make my money. But where else can I make money right now? Right now, where else can I get the real estate? I get the real estate all around the world now. I mean, 1 unit in Dubai, I mean, 1 unit in Germany, I mean, 1 unit in Netherlands, I mean, 1 unit here. I can find it. I can find these units. I mean, understand? I can find these small units. I start with 1 unit blocks. I get 200 units of 1 unit ones. You understand? I mean, 200 units will give me a certain amount of cash. You understand? Whereas now, from that cash, I go and make more real estate. But guess what? I'm just understanding now that I have already my nice, beautiful music production to do that for me. You understand? I mean, guess what? I mean, straight from music production, I get myself over 32 units right away. I mean, I never even have to consider doing 1 unit blocks anymore. I mean, I never even have to do 1 unit blocks anymore. I can get straight away units that are 300 units and more. I can get tall skyscrapers that I own. I mean, I can go to Melbourne and get these massive skyscrapers. I mean, guess what? I mean, there was a beautiful one. I mean, guess what? I mean, over here, I mean, these units are going at 13. I mean, it's going at, you have to understand, either way, it's a 13% margin over here. I mean, guess what? I mean, after 13 years, I make my money on the actual real estate over here. I understand. So what happens here is realize that each unit here is 600,000, for example. I mean, guess what? I mean, this nice, beautiful unit of big Chicago range or whatever, you have to understand, it's more that I go and make these big skyscrapers. So every single day I have these units. When you see, for example, when you see these massive units on a skyscraper, which is a real estate that's going uphill, but it's just all small flats inside of the actual skyscraper. You understand? Which now, either way, I mean, that's what I mean. I mean, get those. I mean, own that completely. I mean, guess what? I mean, 600 people living there. I understand? I mean, 600 people are giving you $300 or 400 or 500 or 600 per week. You understand? And they're living in the CBD of that place or city. Whereas that's the best that you can get. Versus the premium deals. You have to be looking at those towers. I mean, where are the towers of the world? I mean, you can find them at the America. You can find towers at the. I mean, you have to have the money. You have to have money. You have to have money. So the more money you have, the quicker you get the premium deals. So I get better premium deals than Grant Cardone because I make the money faster than him. Understand? I mean, he has $2.5 billion. I make over my lifetime $1 trillion. Understand? So there's a big difference. I can grab those. I can grab those towers. Even though he has 8,000 units, I can grab one tower that has 600 units. I'll grab 5 towers. That's already his 8,000 units. I just grab 5 units. I grab 5 real estates, while he has to have 8,000 real estates. I just grab 5 real estates. You understand? I mean, guess what? I mean, he gives 30 years of his life to go around chasing this real estate. But guess what? I understand that. I understand that's what you have to do. You understand? But what's amazing is understand, I just go searching for 5 towers. I give the money to get 5 towers, whereas he has to afford to get the towers. I can get the tower and give the whole money for it. I mean, how much is a tower? I mean, a tower can be whatever, but guess what? I give the money totally to own the tower first. I mean, if you have the whole money to grab the real estate, you just grab the real estate right away. Or, guess what? I mean, that's the best way. I mean, never go into debt with the bank for anything. I mean, just own the whole tower. I mean, if it's $1 trillion, give $1 trillion from your own pocket to have the actual premium deal of the real estate. And then guess what? I mean, you start making that money back in 10 years anyway. But it's all going toward you back. I mean, it's all going toward you. I mean, $1 trillion, but in 10 years' time, you make that money back. I mean, then guess what? I mean, from that one tower, you make over your lifetime 7 times that money, much more. You make another $7 trillion per tower. You understand? I mean, you can do that now. So I make $7 trillion right now per tower. I mean, 7 trillion. I mean, I understand every single day that if I just understand, no matter what, that you guys realize that if I write something down, it's because I understand that I have to grow. So I just write $7 trillion right here. I mean, every single day, focus on understanding. I have to do a screenshot. So I'm just much quicker because it's much better to do a screenshot than actually writing it down. I understand? I mean, guess what? I mean, now, per tower, I can afford towers. I can afford to do towers. Whereas now, all I ever do right now, I accumulate the money from my music production, I dump it into a tower, and that's it. And that's it. And that's it. I mean, that's my real estate deals. I mean, that's my way of saying how I do actually everything in terms of real estate and music production and my life coaching. Whereas my life coaching is something different. I mean, my life coaching is making events around the world, but it's making events at these countries, but everywhere else as well. I want to make it in Africa. I want to make it all around the world. I want to make 52 events per week. Understand? I want to make 52 events over here per week. I mean, it's all numbers. I mean, in a sense, so 52 events around the block. I mean, around the actual world. I mean, that's 360 already. I have 360. I have the number 360. I mean, in a sense, so I'm around the world everywhere. I mean, every single day. I understand that. And then guess what? I mean, what else do I do? I mean, guess what? I have to name the 52 countries. I have to make these massive festivals. And guess what? I mean, it's a seminar. I understand. But guess what I do now? I make sure I contact them. I book the event. I make sure it's 1 year ahead of time. I make sure it's all 1 year ahead of time again. I mean, I just make sure I'm always delivering my content forward. I make sure that's all planning forward. I name the countries. So you already have the first 12 countries of where I'm coming to see you guys. And I'm coming to see you guys everywhere around those countries I already mentioned. I understand either way. I mean, where else am I coming? I mean, that's yet to be coming. I still have to go and say that Africa is also one that I want to go to. I mean, Africa, I just say Africa. Say Africa capital city. In a sense, so I'll go to the capital cities only. I mean, in a sense, so either way, I'm only going capital cities. Whereas now, every single day, never waste people's time, but make sure you're understanding every single day to go and focus upon learning how to go better. And now, either way, you have to understand that if you are doing something, to reference something, you have to understand to help yourself to see that you have already done that, you're aware of it, you understand? So what you need to do is just coach people much more and more, but never waste people's time. Right now, every single day, focus upon understanding that if you waste people's time, you're then wasting your time. That's how it is. Right now, because I did waste your time before, I was wasting my own time here. Right now, every single day, focus upon understanding it. Now, I have 52 events around the world. Right, that's it. Right now, that's how I make my other 500 million. I make my other 500 billion here. You understand? I make my money with. That's it. What else to do? 52 events. 52 weeks of the year, I'm traveling somewhere. And then 1 week, 2 nights of the month, I'm doing festivals around the world. You understand? I make sure they understand that those other, that second night of where I do the other festivals is at other countries. I never perform at those other countries where, let's say, I've done those events, other than making sure I'm doing it at another time elsewhere. Understand? I make sure that if I go to China and I perform a 10-hour event there, it's just once a year. Understand? Because if I do it twice a year, versus now, you have to understand I can. Guess what? They give the money. Understand? But I'd rather do it elsewhere. I'd rather do it elsewhere now. I'd rather do it just 1 year over there, because otherwise, 2 times a year is too much for them. I promise you. Versus now, every single day, one time there, I promise you a year, promise you it can happen. Understand? Versus now, I have to go somewhere else and do these other 12 events around the world. And I have to pick another 12 countries to go to. And that's it. Do you understand? Because all the countries can give me the money. I just have to pick a country. And that's it. Every single day, focus upon understanding where do you want to go and why, and then just go and do it. Versus now, every single day, I have everything now. I'm a movie star. I can go on movies now. I can go acting. I can go doing a career in comedy if I want. I can do whatever I want now. But I'm doing and giving you the knowledge now on how to do so. So that's it. Guys, just make sure you understand those numbers. Make sure you go and do it yourself, and then make sure you guys are following me and stay in tune.